quite quit this season. I still be the greatest funk.
My left stroke just went viral.
Right stroke, put little baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Be humble.
Welcome to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogg's Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. And it's going to be another cold day outside. Many more people getting out and about. We had some freezing rain that came through this morning, but streets seem to be more manageable today and every day as we move forward. Well, we're definitely looking forward to getting back out and doing what we usually do.
Yeah, being above freezing will cure a lot of ills where all that's concerned. So good to see temperatures above 32, no matter how long they last.
Let's welcome Pigskin Preacher in properly.
Donovan Edwards rotates in at the back. He's got the football, bumps into traffic and escapes. Donovan Edwards racing to the end zone. Michigan flexing immediately. 41 yards, and he's loose again. Edwards off and running. Welcome back, Donovan Edwards, 46 yards. There are people out there that believe that whatever Michigan does is tainted. That's up to you to decide, but hail, hail Michigan. They are the champions of college football 2023.
Pigskin, how are we doing today?
Well, I'm doing a lot better after hearing those highlights, Joe. That was very nice.
Oh, absolutely. We had to make you feel really good about everything that's been accomplished. And, that's something that'll never get old to you. You always cherish that. And no matter what the situation is with Jim Harbaugh, if he decides to move on and Michigan is dealing with a new coach coming in, that'll always be there for you.
Listen, not only that, I figured between me and my two sons and my brother, we've probably spent thousands of dollars on national championship swag. So you're going to see me, Joe, for probably the rest of my life. I'll show up and I'll have Michigan national championship this and national championship that. More than likely, everybody's going to get sick of seeing all that stuff. So I'm just giving everybody fair warning.
Yeah, it's like if it's not someone's favorite team, of course, it goes away within a couple of days. And that's why, for me personally, it doesn't matter what team wins the championship. If it's a team that I really didn't want to see win it, it doesn't matter in the end because there's nothing that you can do about it. And, even though it'll be a part of history, it's always going to be there. It's out of your mind within the next couple of days anyway for the people who were against that team or didn't really care about that team winning. It'll be out of your mind within a few days.
Well, I bet for 20 years I've used this Michigan 2004 Rose Bowl coffee mug. I got it, for a couple of bucks somewhere up there when I was up there years ago. And they lost that game. The 2004 Rose Bowl, they got beat by USC on January the 1st. And every time I would look at that, I was telling my wife, I said I would be happy because it said Rose Bowl. Then I would remember we lost the game, and it would be irritating. So now, since I've ordered several more coffee mugs, it should be here this week, I told her from now on, every time I see that, I'll remember we beat Alabama in that game, and that will bring back happy memories. So, to the victors go the spoils.
So what all kinds of gear have you ordered besides coffee mugs? Because whenever a team wins the championship, they put it all out there, whether it's a magazine cover, towels, CDs, DVDs, whatever the case may be, they put it all out.
Man, we've got coffee mugs, we've got pennants, we've got license plate frames, 3 or 4 T-shirts, a bunch of long sleeve T-shirts, a couple of hoodies. I think I got a quarter zip golf thing. I mean, man, you name it, we got it. I mean, if they, and I'm sure they're going to come out, those entrepreneurs up in Ann Arbor, they'll come out with a bunch more stuff and we'll buy that too. So
Yeah, you definitely have to have all the gear. Now, as far as some news that hit here more recently, the Cowboys, we know about all the teams out there with their coaching situations and some of them looking to hire new coaches, and then some of the rumors about teams that could possibly move on from their head coach. The Cowboys said that they are bringing Mike McCarthy back for another season, and in the organization, they believe in him, but there are a lot of fans that are unhappy with that.
Were you surprised at that? Because I was a little bit surprised. I just assumed they would move on.
It did seem a bit surprising in the fact that, they seem to be stuck in the same spot or not advancing forward much more than they want to. So it seemed a bit surprising, but at the same time, Mike McCarthy is the type of coach that Jerry likes. Jerry likes a coach that is going to do the things that he wants to do, and he's controlling most of the things. Now, he's given up a little bit of control, but at the end of the day, he's the owner, and he has the final say-so with everything.
Well, and they've drafted better the last couple of years. You remember famously his son talked him out of picking Johnny Manziel when he was going to use the first-round pick on him, which, would have been a disaster. But, they've gotten some pretty good guys in the last few years. Had a little trouble with injuries with Van Der Esch, but the Micah Parsons pick was brilliant. But I don't know. McCarthy's a decent coach. They've won 12 games 3 years in a row, but they just keep stalling in the playoffs. And the other day, I think what made that loss so bad, I don't think we've ever had a 2 seed lose to a 7 seed. And it wasn't just that they lost. They just were obliterated. When Green Bay got that opening kick and went down the field and just ran the ball down their throats, I thought, this is not good for these guys. And, they didn't come close to stopping those guys the whole game. It was embarrassing.
Well, it's almost like you're caught between a rock and a hard place. You're caught in a spot where you have to weigh the options to say, is this better or is it worse in the fact that it's going to be competitive, you're going to have a chance to win a division, which is going to put you in the playoffs, and then once you get into the playoffs, you know what can happen from there. Or is it worse to be in a position where you're unsure as to whether you're going to even get to that level with a chance to get to the playoffs and go from there. So with Mike McCarthy, it's been proven, it's been shown that you can get to the playoffs, but it's not as if the coaches before Mike McCarthy, that they were having a lot of success in the same vein, or even if they got there, that they were going farther than they are now, and that's why Mike McCarthy is the current head coach. That's how he got to be there in the first place.
Well, and it's especially bad on Pigskin's point when Kyle Shanahan says he starts game planning for Green Bay in the second quarter. Things are not going well if you're Dallas and you hear that from Kyle Shanahan.
Well, as the next opponent, and that was the luxury that the Niners had, where they had a week off, you are going to go into that game and look at both teams throughout the week. You're going to focus on both teams, do a little work on one, a little work on the other. But, yeah, if you're sitting there watching the game in real time and it looks like this game is out of hand, that's what you have to do. You start shifting a lot more of that preparation to the team that's in control and put a higher percentage on working on them.
Yeah, it makes sense from Shanahan's standpoint, but I just thought it kind of looked kind of bad on Dallas to be like, oh, geez, we don't really even get a look. It was that far out of hand in their mind already. They kind of were able just to single in on Green Bay and get that much more advanced look.
We were having the conversation the other day, all these Dallas fans, they're everywhere around us. And, back when we were winning championships, back when we were relevant, back when we were doing this. One of the big differences between those teams and this current team is they had a bone-crunching running game back then. They don't really run the ball all that well anymore. Pollard is a good change of pace back, maybe a second tier back. He's not one of those thumpers, though, that's just going to get a bunch of yards for you. I wonder maybe in the off season if they don't make a move to lock up a Derrick Henry or somebody like that, where when they need 2 or 3 yards, they can absolutely get it.
We have a comment here on Southern Structural Solutions text line. If you want to get in on that, you can text in to 501-661-1037. You can call the show, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America Life and Feedback. So this is a comment about Jim Harbaugh, and it says that he's putting the screws to Michigan. His latest contract demands, even though Michigan has already offered a 10-year, $125 million contract, he still wants more concessions and is even seeking language that would grant him immunity from termination.
I don't think there's much to read into that, Joe. He wants to go to the NFL. He's wanted to go back to the NFL for a few years. He's accomplished everything at Michigan he set out to do. He made them a national power again. He's turned the screws to Ohio State. He's won 3 consecutive Big Ten championships. Now he's won a national championship. He wants to coach in the league. He wants to go back. He feels like he's got unfinished business. I think what that is a ploy, just in case the NFL gig falls through, that he's going to be covered there. But I don't know that the school can grant any kind of an immunity in that. I mean, who knows what the NCAA is going to do? They're basically a toothless and feckless organization as far as that goes. But the only model I think that you could have with this, you remember Kansas basketball was in trouble a couple of years ago for paying players back when that used to be illegal. And there was talk about maybe getting rid of Bill Self, but they didn't get rid of Bill Self. In fact, they gave him a contract extension, and they had language in there to the effect he cannot be fired over the things that happened in the past. And if Harbaugh were to return to Michigan, which I think is about 10% right now, I think that's what he's angling for. But, as far as, Michigan could deal with that. Here's a problem that we've got at Michigan. I mean, and non-Michigan people, I'm sure, could not care less. But we have one of the most ineffective athletic directors in the United States of America. Ward Manuel's pitiful. Think about this. He's gotten rid of, in the last few years, or allowed to walk, which is the same thing, John Beilein, who got to the national championship twice in basketball, Eric Bakich, who got to the championship series in baseball, and now he's going to let Harbaugh get away, who's won the national championship. You couldn't show me another school in the United States of America that had 3 programs playing for multiple championships, and within a year or a couple of years, all 3 of those coaches walked away. That would not be allowed to happen anywhere else, but it's happening on Ward Manuel's watch.
Well, it sounds like he's not going to be around much longer. And for Out of Bounds, we are getting to the break. So if you want to get into the show, lots of ways to get in. Stay tuned for more of Out of Bounds coming up.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Arkansas State fell to Southern Miss 69-66. The Red Wolves are 3-3 in conference play. They'll face Texas State on Saturday. In the SEC, LSU pulled an upset over 22nd-ranked Ole Miss, beating them 89-80. They're led by senior guard Jordan Wright, who had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. 8th-ranked Kentucky took care of business, beating Mississippi State 90-77. And 22nd-ranked Auburn also took care of business, beating Vanderbilt 80-65. Tonight in college basketball, Little Rock will take on Southern Indiana at 7:30. Radio coverage for the game can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. TV coverage can be seen on ESPN+. And Central Arkansas will take on Lipscomb at 7. That game can also be seen on ESPN+. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Back-to-back Elite Eights, and last year the Sweet 16. How far will the team make it this season? Get the scoop on Mondays on Out of Bounds when senior point guard El Ellis gives us his take on the basketball season. El Ellis is brought to you by Matt Black with Allstate Insurance for your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, renters, and landlord insurance. Are you in good hands?
Hey, it's Matt Zimmerman for Telco Federal Credit Union. Looking for your next truck and shocked by the prices? As a member of Telco Federal Credit Union, they can help finance your next purchase, whether from a dealership or from an individual. Telco can even finance your out-of-state funds, and if needed, they can help with vehicle values and negotiation tips. The local team at Telco Federal Credit Union will find you the right loan, the lowest rate, and make the process easy. Stop in, log on, or call 501-375-5321.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a night of heart-pounding action. Pinnacle Fight Night, where warriors become legends. On February 3rd, experience the thrill of professional boxing as top fighters Carlos Nava, 10-0 with 6 knockouts, and Thomas Candyman Blair, 7-0 with 3 knockouts, defend their perfect records at the Maumelle Event Center as fighters from around the U.S. compete for victory. Don't miss the chance to be a part of history. Tickets are selling fast, so grab yours today at Eventbrite. Pinnacle Fight Night, where legends are made.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Big O Tires believes in straight talk. So what would you do with an extra $100? Shopping? Road trip? Steak dinner? Right now at the Conway and Cabot Big O Tires, get $100 instant savings on all Big O brands of tires with the best warranty in the industry. 3-year free replacement on road hazard conditions, workmanship, and material defect. Free flat repair, free rotate and balance, and roadside assistance. Save $100 now and get tires, service, and straight talk at the Big O Tires in Conway and Cabot.
Do you need rainwater, Holt, and Sexton? Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. It really is just that easy. If you've been injured and need help, it doesn't matter where in Arkansas you are. Just dial 888-8888. We'll come to you. I'm Mike Rainwater of Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton. We have been thankfully serving Arkansans for years, and we appreciate the trust you've put in us. We work hard for you, Arkansas, each and every day. Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
Make it the event that everyone wants to attend by getting your meat for tailgates, parties, or just family get-togethers at Hogg's Meat Market. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogg Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. If you want to get into the show today, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, live fan feedback, all the ways to get in. And we're going to go to the phones and talk to Heath. What's up, Heath?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, man, just enjoying another snow day. Man, got to love working in education. Getting these snow days, long vacations are fantastic.
Well, but, Heath, you have to make them up, though, right?
Yeah, you know, it's on the back end. And, I mean, on the back end, it's like you're coming to the close, so you almost just don't care. I mean, so,
yeah, then you're going to wind up missing school because your air conditioner goes out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Pigskin. You should buy all the gear you want, you know, wear those national championship T-shirts, drink out of the mugs, man, put the hats on because, some teams will just never know. So when your team accomplishes that, you've got to represent, and especially being in this state. I mean, I guess they may make back-to-back Elite Eight shirts. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody wearing any, but when your team wins the title, that's what you get to do, man. You get to brag, you get to represent, and it was in the makings anyway. I mean, the type of program Michigan is, it's just a matter of time. So, but I don't know if you guys saw this. I recently saw a video, and it was posted right after, almost immediately after Dallas lost in the playoffs again. It was entitled Cowboys reaction after a loss to Green Bay, and it shows them walking through the tunnel, going back to the locker room, and there was no reaction. Like, it just, I mean, I guess you could see disappointment in it, but Dak is like really running through the tunnel, like he's on a full jog. I mean, it's hilarious because he didn't show that type of speed on the field. But it was just fantastic. I can't stand the Cowboys, and I think it's hilarious. I mean, there were some still photos of Jerry Jones' facial expression during that game, and it was just priceless. But there's a lot of fans, Dallas fans around here. So when they lose, it's just I just find it hilarious. And I'm not even a Packer fan, but did you see the little phrase, all you need is love? I thought that was just so heartwarming. I saw that in the stands, and I was like, all you need is love. It was just great. But, the Cowboys aren't relevant anymore, and they haven't been relevant since the 90s. I mean, it's crazy. You got a non-billion-dollar franchise. Jerry Jones can't buy himself a winning team. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's something internally wrong with that organization. But, hey, I'm not hating on it. But anyway, guys, hey, stay warm. That's really all I got. And Pigskin, just, hey, man, represent. There's probably a few more coming in the next 5 to 10 years. So, it'll just be a matter of time before you're looking through the closet. You just go, man, which one do I want to wear? LSU fans get to do that. Bama fans get to do that. I mean, but it will. You'll say, which Big Ten championship shirt do I want to wear? Which do I want to wear? This one? Do I want to wear this one? And walking around this state, it's even sweeter, man. It's even sweeter because
you're a good man, Heath. I appreciate the support.
All right, guys, take care.
I see you, Heath. Yeah, it's it's still a good feeling, and there are some people around here that'll give you some props, Pigskin, and recognize that. But there are plenty of others. They were ready to move on right after that game was over.
So, Joe, I got to tell you this. So last week I flew to Atlanta, and I had a speaking engagement at a church, and I preached 5 times in 3 days over the weekend. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Buford, Georgia. It's like 35 miles outside of Atlanta, just a exploding suburb. They've got the Mall of Georgia, which I guess after the Mall of America in Minneapolis, it's the second biggest mall in the United States of America. They got a AAA ballpark, just state-of-the-art restaurants and businesses and all this. So, in between preaching, I had a bunch of time to kill. So I'm out at restaurants and I'm walking through the mall and I was going through the Atlanta airport and different things. Well, I had my Michigan football sweatshirt on. And I bet I was congratulated about 24 times. I was pretty impressed with how gracious those folks. Hey, congratulations, man. Your team looked good, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and I thought, that's encouraging because, like you said, if I see somebody, if Washington would have won or Oregon, I'd have said something if I'd have seen somebody. Same thing. You kind of tip your hat. And then for most folks, it's over pretty quickly. But it ain't going to be over for me for a long, long time. I can tell you that.
And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But, that's always interesting when you travel and you do wear sports gear. Some of the comments that you hear, they could be good at times and they can be bad at other times.
And there are people.
My son said he had his shirt on the other day and he saw an Ohio State guy at the gym. He was working out. So he just looked at him and smiled. And I'm like, that's all you got to do, man. That's all you got to do.
And I can promise you, Pigskin, there are people in Nebraska still celebrating the Conati in '97.
Yeah. Tom Osborne's gold watch of a retirement gift after you guys got 5 downs against Missouri. Yeah, I remember that.
And that was a storyline going into the championship game where both teams have won national championships, but the last time that both won, they were shared national championships. So that was something that was a storyline, and whoever won the game, they were looking to have that solo national championship where they were recognized.
And Joe, that's a great point. Not to be ungracious, okay. Washington shared was with Georgia Tech. Washington would have killed Georgia Tech, and I would put $10,000 down that Michigan would have beaten Nebraska. Here's the problem with that. The only way that we ended up sharing that thing was Philip Fulmer was throwing a fit because his boy Peyton Manning lost his career achievement Heisman that year to Charles Woodson. And it was proven Fulmer voted Michigan 4th in the final coaches poll, and that was enough to drop us down from 1st to 2nd. I mean, that's just the fix is in. You know, nobody ever says anything about that. And, you know, Scott Frost, really? You think Scott Frost would have stood up to our defense? He'd have stood up to our defense the way he stood up to Lawrence Phillips when he busted in that apartment and was going to kick his head in. So that's all you need to know about Scott Frost.
There was this came up last week, actually, and there's confusion about who actually won a national championship that year. It wasn't Georgia Tech. We looked at it. Georgia Tech won either the year before or a year after. But that year it was shared, let's see, it was shared with Miami that year. So Georgia Tech, the last one that they won, but there was a shared one year where it was the year before. Colorado, Georgia Tech, Miami, Washington. It was a number of teams, whoever you wanted to name.
Well, that Washington team, when they were undefeated, they killed a pretty good Michigan team with Desmond Howard in the Heisman Trophy in the Rose Bowl. They beat us by 20 points. That team, Billy Joe Hobart, Steve Entman, man, they were good. That was a great, great Washington team. I didn't think this Washington team was nearly as talented, but I thought Kalen DeBoer did a really good job coaching them up. But, you know, we'll see what he does at Alabama. I think they made a good hire. I think that'll work out well.
There are varying thoughts on that because you know how people are. People are skeptical. There are haters out there. And right away, especially with Nick Saban moving on, you know, that was a day that everybody was waiting for to say that, you know, now's our chance. Alabama isn't going to be the same. And so Kalen DeBoer is not necessarily the flashiest name, but the fact that he just had a team in the national championship game, that brings a lot of credibility. And then it was also thought that he may not have been Alabama's first choice, which he may not have been. But to your point, it's still a great hire because the guy has proven that he can win, and he's won every place he's coached.
Everywhere he's been, Joe. And look, let's just say it like it is. No, but you're not going to replace Nick Saban. Nick Saban probably is the greatest college coach in the modern era. I don't think second place is even close. What he's done, his record will not be equaled likely in our lifetime, or maybe even after that. So you're not going to get him, but you got to get somebody that can move the needle on some other areas. And I think they probably went after Lanning first, and you know, Phil Knight backed up the Nike truck and said, look, we're going to do anything we can to keep you here. He can be a legend up there. He doesn't have to go anywhere. And I think Lanning was smart enough to know you don't want to be the guy that replaces Nick Saban. Maybe you want to be the guy that replaces the guy who replaced Nick Saban. I mean, you guys are maybe not old enough to remember. Do you remember who replaced Bear Bryant at Alabama?
Was it Perkins?
Ray Perkins. Very good.
Yeah.
How did he do? He basically ran away in a couple of years because he couldn't replace Bryant. It kind of reminds the line of that Lou Holtz had. Holtz was an assistant at Woody Hayes, and when Hayes got fired for punching the Clemson nose guard Charlie Bauman in the Gator Bowl, they asked Holtz, who at the time, if you remember, was at Arkansas. They asked Holtz, they said, would you like to go to Ohio State and take over? He goes, no, I don't want to be the guy to try to replace Woody Hayes. He said, I wouldn't mind being the guy to replace the guy who tried to replace Woody Hayes. And it's kind of the same thing with Saban. This is a hard act to follow, but DeBoer's a good, solid coach. And the thing that kind of won me over with the guy, he and his mentor, Chris Creighton, turned the Eastern Michigan program around. That doesn't mean anything to anybody down here. Eastern Michigan was the worst Division I program in the United States. They were horrible. And that he was winning 6 and 7 games a year. I think maybe they even won 8 with Creighton at Eastern Michigan. If you win 7 games at Eastern Michigan, that's like winning 27 games at Alabama. So the guy can coach. He's used to doing a lot with a little. And at Alabama, all you got to do is a lot with a lot, because they always have a lot. So I think it was a good hire. If I were an Alabama fan, which obviously I'm not, I would be happy with this.
It's good to have that outside perspective, too, at times, because, you know, there's always that thought that at certain schools, Bama, USC, even it can go into more schools, but there's always that thought, that frame of mind where we have to replace this person with a Bama guy or a USC guy. And, of course, Nick Saban wasn't a Bama guy, but he won there. But it goes back to Bear Bryant. The thought was you have to replace Bear Bryant with a Bama guy, and that's why Ray Perkins was the guy to come in, because that was the frame of mind at the time.
Joe, there isn't any school in the United States eaten up with more of that kind of idiocy than the University of Michigan. Your Bo said famously, a Michigan man will coach Michigan. Well, all that meant was Frieder had taken another job at Arizona State, and he was going to coach Michigan in the tournament. And Bo said, drop dead. He said, you can go to Arizona State. We're going to have Michigan coached by a Michigan guy. Well, that's been misinterpreted and misapprehended over the years, that you had to go to Michigan, or you had to play at Michigan, or you had to coach at Michigan. I would point this out you just made a great point. Saban didn't go to Alabama. Saban now is the quintessential Alabama guy. Why? Because he's won 6 championships there. The 2 greatest coaches in the history of Michigan football, Fielding H. Yost, came from West Virginia, and Bo Schembechler came from Miami of Ohio. I guess you could add a third, Fritz Chrysler. He came from Princeton. So, you hire the best guy out there, and then when he wins, he becomes an Arkansas guy or an Alabama guy or a Michigan. I mean, look at Arkansas. The legend in Arkansas football is Frank Broyles. Where was Broyles from? Georgia Tech. So, when they hire the guy there and he becomes a winner there, then that takes care of itself. But, yeah, Michigan and Alabama and other schools, they really hamstring themselves with that nonsense that it's all about your pedigree. No, it's all about your ability and your ability to win.
Thanks to Kevin Bohannon. He sent a message that says, Saban, his first 8 years at Bama, 91-17, 3 national championships. Kirby, 8 years at Georgia, 94-16, 2 national championships, and a runner-up. So he's on par and on pace to equal, or if not surpass, what Nick Saban is doing. It's hard to even imagine that, but if you look at the numbers, they're there for them.
That's a really wonderful analysis right there, because, he's right there with him in the first 8 years. And you could make a really compelling case. Georgia is a better job on some fronts than Alabama, because you've got Atlanta. You've got a better recruiting background. There are more Division I prospects in the state of Georgia than almost anywhere in America. So, Smart would have been foolish to walk away from that. He can do what Saban's done. And as young as he is, he could be there another 20 years if he wanted to be.
Southern Structural Solutions text line JK says that I fully concur. As my older brother, he's a lifetime Michigan fan, and I'm a Harding graduate and alum. So it's fun to celebrate 2 national football championships.
Nice. Yeah, I did a Double B's commercial recently for Harding, and you got to give it up to a team that rushes for 6,000 yards and wins a crushing victory in the national championship game by going 2 for 2 in the air. What they're doing there is just really remarkable. Paul Simmons has got something special up in White County.
And we also pointed that out with your son, Nathan Monin, who is a Michigan fan and a Harding grad. So, yeah, he's celebrating. He's high.
Joe, Little Pigskins had a good year. His Michigan Wolverines have won it all. His alma mater, Harding, has won it all. And now he's got a little son named Thomas, and, life is good, as they say.
Absolutely. Also, another comment here that says, let's see, the national championship. Okay, so JK says if the Razorbacks won a national championship, he would definitely be an obnoxious fan. and the other message that was from a previous message, but yeah, JK says he'd be an obnoxious fan.
Now I got to tell JK and all the other hog boys out there this. My son got me one of the coolest jackets I've ever seen in my life. It's got the old slobbering hog, from like 40 years ago or something on it. Really good Razorback thing. And he got it for me that it was a little bit too big. I've lost a little bit of weight lately, thankfully.
A little bit? Yeah. So, give yourself some credit. Yeah,
well, I'm not doing, good. I'm not doing a Todd Pierce disappearing man shtick, but I'm a little thinner than I used to be. So I had to go and get a smaller size in this thing. So my man Kerry Maddox at the Maumelle Country Club's ordered it for me. It should be in a week or two. This is the slickest Arkansas jacket you've ever seen in your life. I just want all the natives to know. While my first allegiance is with the maize and blue, dude, I'm an Arkansan. I live in Arkansas. I work in Arkansas. I pay taxes in Arkansas. I'm going to be buried in Arkansas, hopefully not in the next, 2 or 3 years, but, maybe 20 or 30 years or something. But, man, I represent the home team, man. Arkansas is a special brand, and, right now it's not a great time to be a Hog football fan. It looked as if we were getting ready to take a step forward, but it's like one step forward, 2 steps back. But, Arkansas historically, if you look at the brand, they've been a top 20 program. In my lifetime, I've lived 6 decades, and over that 6 decades, if you look at the record, the Arkansas Razorbacks are a top 20 football team. They just got to get the right guy to get them back where they belong. That's what they have to do.
It's always about what have you done for me lately. So that's what everybody's going to remember. What happened most recently, how's the team looking now? And even with that, we see it happening now. Even if you have success, you have to maintain that success over the next couple of years, or that'll be forgotten about quickly and they'll be ready to move on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can see if Sharon Moore gets the Michigan job next year, Michigan's got a brutal schedule. They play Texas and Washington and Oregon, Ohio State, all these just, really good teams. We could go 10-2 next year, and a bunch of the Michigan fans, that guy's an idiot, man. We need to get rid of him. I'm like, like you said, what have you done for me lately? That's the nature of fandom.
Well, the thing about it is with the 12-team playoff, you have more leeway now. So the fact that if, these conferences are expanding, you do have more competition overall, but you also can maybe drop a game or two more than you would have and still have a chance to win in the end. That's what it's going to come.
Absolutely.
It's going to come down to. We have more of Out of Bounds coming up after this break, live from the Hogs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned.
The Bucks are back. At the 34th Annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic presented by Oaklawn, January 26th through 28th at the State Fairgrounds. You could win a lifetime hunting license, a Browning A-Bolt rifle, or a $1,000 gift card from Hunter's Refuge. The Taka Hunting Gear Game and Fish Foundation free kids zone, including a trout pond, hoverball, Bwana Gym, and more. Hunters, bring your antlers for your chance to win a Tracker Off-Road 800 SX from Bradford Marine and ATV. Rattlesnakes, chainsaw carving, birds of prey, monster trucks, and the Oaklawn Big Buck Chili Cook-Off. The Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic presented by Oaklawn. Tree stands, clothing, RVs, ATVs, UTVs, ammo, and more. Hundreds of vendors with huge discounts. It's a Hall of Fame event and an Arkansas tradition. January 26th through 28th at the State Fairgrounds. Sponsored by Reliance Bank, Oaklawn Hot Springs, Arkansas, Bradford Marine and ATV, Tracker Off-Road, Hunter's Refuge, Remington, Taka Hunting Gear, Outlaw Beer, and 1037 The Buzz. Visit BigBuckClassic.com and Facebook for more info.
Well, now all the decorations are down, and you're looking around thinking, we really ought to freshen up the place. It's a new year, and the best time to save at Lazy Boy. The inventory overstock sale is here. Upgrade every room in your home. Hot buys all over the store. Fabric recliners starting at $3.99. Leather recliners only $7.99. Stop by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor for their inventory overstock sale, up to 50% off store-wide. Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the Lazy.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. For the past few months, we've been asking you to give us a chance to buy your cars, and the response has been great. We really appreciate all of you who brought your cars in and turned it into cash. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. So look around and see what you or your family has in the garage that you want to turn into cash. It's really easy, folks. Just come into Fletcher Dodge and ask for Chris or Andy. We'll buy any vehicle and we'll pay you more than anyone. We can't find enough vehicles at the auto auctions to meet the demand, so we're extending you this offer to the public. We'll pay you more, so don't wait. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Come see us today for the best cash offer on your car, truck, van, or SUV. Just ask for Chris or Andy. We'll pay you more, so come see us at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood. Thanks.
From sales, service, parts, and rental equipment, River Valley Tractor does it all and does it right. Your leading Kubota dealer is right around the corner with 5 locations throughout Central Arkansas. River Valley Tractor, serving Central Arkansas and Bryant, Sherwood, Conway, Russellville, and Pine Bluff. Work smarter this year, not harder, with River Valley Tractor. Online at rivervalleytractor.com. River Valley Tractor, closer than you think.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. This is why so many people are joining Medishare right now. Medishare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch, especially now during this challenging season with health care costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medishare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. Medishare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Get only the best customer service and the best selection of meats at Hogg's Meat Market, where they have sliced boar head deli meats and cheeses. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are. Hey, hey, I told ya, riding with my top down and my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing my thing. Hey, 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 hey. I said I'm riding with my top down and my jury on. Come on, hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm in the hood bouncing, spray like a fountain, money like a mountain. Tell me why you pouting. I know why you pouting, cause we getting paper. Hey, tell them again, nigga. We getting that paper. I'm in the hood top down with my jury on. Jury on me. Come on, I got my goons on me.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. If you want to get into the show today, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, life and feedback. And we have some Southern Structural Solutions text line. Best thing about Harding, the best stat, is the O-line had 5 penalties all season. That is really impressive. The way they run the ball and to have 5 penalties all season for the offensive line, it's a crazy stat.
You know, there was a line from Jim Otis, the great all-pro running back for Green Bay, played at Ohio State, and Woody Hayes. He used to complain with some of the other Ohio State guys. He said, all Woody wanted to do was run the fullback through the 3-hole, fullback through the 3-hole. He said, if we practice that play once, we practice it 5,000 times. He said, but there would come a time, usually about in the second quarter of these games, that the other team knew that we were running the fullback through the 3-hole, and they knew that they couldn't stop it. And once we got to that point, the game was over. And that's basically, Harding's done that, 50 years forwarded. The other team knows what they're going to do, and they still can't stop it. And it just grinds these guys down. And they're disciplined. They're smart. Man, they deserve all the credit in the world for this tremendous season that they had.
That's exactly what happened to Colorado Mines in the championship game. They held up for a little while, and then once Harding was able to establish dominance with the offensive line, the game was over from that point.
Also, Todd, your old Nebraska boys, that's how they used to play. Same thing, man. Same thing.
The offensive and defensive lines, yep.
Also, Stats says, so the bad thing about a team winning a national championship is that the losses really hurt. So after you've been to the top and then you start experiencing some losses after you've won a championship, he said that they're more magnified and they really hurt.
Oh, listen, we're losing 75% of the team. It's going to be tough next year, but I'm not worried about that because as Martin Luther King said, I have seen the promised land, and we've seen it. So, whatever happens in the future, I'll deal with that when that happens. We're smiling today. That's it.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
What's trending in sports? University of Miami, so Miami Hurricanes tight end Cam McCormick. He confirmed Thursday that he's going to be returning to play for the Hurricanes in 2024. And we've heard of athletes getting a fifth season. That can be standard at times. A sixth season because of COVID. Well, McCormick is going to get a ninth season overall. He began his career at Oregon in 2016. And he's had some significant injuries over the years. He's had a red shirt, had a COVID year. So he posted on X. He said that the pursuit of excellence has no goal line. 2024 is the last ride.
Well, that's good because after he finishes, he'll be eligible for Security, so he can ease right into retirement. So that'll be nice.
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the good thing, I saw a thing in the Washington Post. There was a basketball player that used to be at Ohio State. His name was Seth Towns, and he transferred to Harvard. He's finishing up right now at Howard University. He's a Howard Bison, not to be confused with a Harding Bisons. But he's in his 8th year, same thing. And I'm like, it's weird because the NCAA used to be like Nazis about eligibility. If a guy played one play in one season, that whole year was gone. And they finally relaxed this a little bit. They've probably taken it a little too far in the other direction. But, let's face it, that's one of the reasons that Michigan won this year. They had a number of sixth-year players because the COVID year gave people an extra season. And Harbaugh was able to talk those guys into coming back. And when you're 24 years old playing against 18-year-olds, that's a big, big advantage in sports.
The Warriors had an assistant coach, Dejan Milojevic, pass away as they were in Salt Lake City to play the Jazz. They were preparing for that. They were at a dinner, and he actually suffered a heart attack. And since then, they've had a couple of games postponed as they mourn the loss of their assistant coach, Dejan Milojevic, and he was in his third season as the Warriors' assistant coach.
Yeah, he worked with the big men, and they said that everybody on the team just loved the guy, just a good man, and you grieve for the team and for his family. It just reminds us that your life is a vapor, here today and gone tomorrow. We need to take advantage of all of the time that we have.
Just 46 years old. And Bob Myers, former Golden State Warriors GM, who works on NBA Today now and does some work for ESPN. He had a lot of good words to say about him, and he said that he had just talked to him recently, and he's still really engaged with the team and talks to them often, and he just spoke about how shaken up the team is altogether, and you can understand why they postpone these games, and there's no time frame on when they'll actually get back on the court.
And it kind of reminds you there's more important things to life than ball games.
Absolutely. Also, Coach Prime, Colorado, they pick up a big recruit in Gage Goldberg, who is Bill Goldberg. We know wrestler Goldberg. It's Bill Goldberg's son. And Gage is a 205-pound middle linebacker from Texas, and now he is committed to the University of Colorado, so he's going to be joining Coach Prime and trying to make them a better team altogether. Now, they needed defensive help, and they needed a lot of help up front on the offensive line, and this is a step in the right direction.
Well, yeah, if he gains 80 pounds, I don't think a 205-pound guy is going to help them deal with their strength issues. Sounds like he needs to follow his dad's weightlifting regiment and whatever else Goldberg was doing back in the day to get all that massive size.
205-pound linebacker can do some damage in the Big 12 now.
Yeah, sure they can. And that's kind of how they like to play, where sometimes you'll see some of these linebackers, they're just bulked up safeties. And that's why you see somebody at 205 pounds. That's probably a guy that, in normal circumstances used to be a safety, and now they're going to continue to put on weight. The linebackers, especially in the middle of the field, they're not as big, as they were at one time. They're somewhere around the 235 mark, maybe 240, because they want to be able to move sideline to sideline.
Yeah, if we'd have seen a 205-pound linebacker this season, though, our offensive line would have started drooling. Figure they're going to tramp that guy into the mud.
We have more of Out of Bounds coming up after this break. It's hour 2, live from the Hogs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned.
Coach Matt Zimmerman joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports each week to talk all things college hoops, courtesy of the DHR Group of Sonic Drive-Ins.
Arkansas, the wait is over. Brewski's North is officially open for business in the Lakewood Village Shopping Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. with all of your pub grub favorites and happy hour drink specials. Come get your grub on with the all-new Smash Burger lineup, best wings in the city with 11 different sauces, or try the new additions to the menu like the spicy Asian chicken salad. Live music starts the weekend every Thursday with karaoke every Friday and Saturday. Brewski's North, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked, 2 miles off 530, exit 34 in Whitehall.
This is your official sports and entertainment station, Central Arkansas. We are 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
Arkansas State Police and other law enforcement agencies swept through Northeast Arkansas, making 245 arrests in just 8 hours. State Police say the operation was focused on removing wanted and repeated offenders from the streets of Crittenden County. In addition to the arrests, law enforcement officers recovered 8 guns and illegal drugs ranging from crack cocaine to marijuana. 449 violations are being charged in 75 criminal arrests. 13 DWI arrests were also made. The winter weather continues to force schools vehicles and some businesses to close until more roads become clear, but some local business owners have kept their doors open through it all. Eric Hergit, owner of Heights Corner Market, says staying open has made a big difference. His biggest issue has been employee safety. He adds customers have expressed a lot of gratitude because not all grocery stores are open. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Information on bass tournaments and some of the best fishing spots in the state can be heard every Sunday morning on Fishing Arkansas with Big Sarge and his crew. Fishing Arkansas is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Jamie Marsh, Stanley Hardware, and Cooper's Nursery in Cabot. Fishing Arkansas, Sunday mornings on 103.7 The Buzz.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
After some light freezing rain across the eastern half of the state, we'll see clouds through the rest of the day and a high around 37. Tonight slowed down to 23. Little sunshine Friday, but a high of just 32. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel. Dinner for two for $60. Split a 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, and our famous salad bar.
Clint Sterner joins Justin and Wes in the zone, courtesy of Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway. Shop Chris Crane Hyundai's selection of new and pre-owned vehicles online at chriscranehyundai.com. It's Clint Sterner in the zone each week, brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway on your fun and game station 103.7 The Buzz.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a night of heart-pounding action. Pinnacle Fight Night, where warriors become legends. On February 3rd, experience the thrill of professional boxing as top fighters Carlos Nava, 10-0 with 6 knockouts, and Thomas Candyman Blair, 7-0 with 3 knockouts, defend their perfect records at the Maumelle Event Center as fighters from around the U.S. compete for victory. Don't miss the chance to be a part of history. Tickets are selling fast, so grab yours today at Eventbrite. Pinnacle Fight Night, where legends are made.
Big O Tires believes in straight talk. So what would you do with an extra $100? Shopping, road trip, steak dinner? Right now at the Conway and Cabot Big O Tires, get $100 instant savings on all Big O brands of tires with the best warranty in the industry. 3-year free replacement on road hazard conditions, workmanship, and material defect. Free flat repair, free rotate and balance, and roadside assistance. Save $100 now and get tires, service, and straight talk at the Big O Tires in Conway and Cabot.
When you get on a bike, you got to watch out for gravel, potholes, and knucklehead drivers.
But after a crash, here's what you got to watch out for. Insurance adjusters. They can be tough on injured bikers.
They might try to pin the blame on you or pay you less than you deserve.
So if you've been injured, here's what you should do.
Call the lawyers who look out for bikers. That's Rainwater, Hull, and Sexton. Motorcycle crash? Call Rainwater, Hull, and Sexton. Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. Non-lawyer spokesperson.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
103.7 The Buzz is home for Razorback basketball. Be sure to stick around after the game for the Gwatney Chevrolet Gwatney Buick GMC postgame show with Wes Moore and Josh Neighbors, live from Walk-Ons in Little Rock, presented in part by Ortho Arkansas and First Security Bank.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
This season goes one of two ways for Kyle Shanahan. One, he goes on to win the Super Bowl, and he elevates himself to the class of coach that is right below Bill Belichick and Andy Reid. He becomes the next great thing. He's already a rock-solid head coach. He'll have won a Super Bowl. He'll have been to 2 Super Bowls as the head coach of the Niners. He'll have been to 4 NFC championship games. And most importantly, he'll have shown everybody around the world that he took the last pick in the NFL draft at the most important position on planet Earth in professional sports, and he won a Super Bowl with them. Kyle Shanahan wins the Super Bowl this year. He is up there as a top 3 coach in the NFL, and it's not even debatable. Now, if he doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, the conversation around Kyle Shanahan is that he's the same thing as Mike McCarthy. He just can't get it done when it matters.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Jackie Robinson may have broken the color barrier,
but he wasn't the first black baseball star. The players who came before him, including my grandpa, Norman Turkey Stearns, competed in a segregated league.
They were denied their rightful place in history.
We're going to uncover the stories of the Negro Leagues and the baseball greats you've never heard of. Reclaimed, the Forgotten League. Listen now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Live from the Hogg's Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, Life and Feedback. And we are going to get into some coaching news in this hour. We're going to start with Mike Tomlin, who he had to answer some questions after the Steelers and Bills game. And there was one question that he actually avoided about the future for him with his contract coming up. But he was more, I guess, open and willing to respond today.
In a little better mood today, man. Anybody got any contract questions? I'll say this. I certainly could have handled.
Mike Tomlin upstairs with his final press conference.
Good afternoon. In a little better mood today, man. Anybody got any contract questions? I'll say this. I certainly could have handled that situation better than I did, but I'll also say this. I just believe there's a time and place for everything, and post-game press conferences are probably not the place to address contract issues and things of that nature. It's just a very individual thing, and on game day, I doubt any of us are in that mindset. Certainly I am not. What's required to do what it is that we do, the amount of focus pouring into a collective, I'm just not in that mind state, and I just don't believe that's the appropriate venue to talk about things of that nature. Certainly open and willing to do it today in this venue. In assessing our last performance in the season, I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of their fight. I'm certainly disappointed that we're not preparing to play this week. I know that they are. It comes to a screeching halt. These are awkward days kind of at the end of the season. And so we're finding our footing. We're doing appropriate things. Exit interviews, I'm in the midst of beginning those things with players and staffing. The players themselves are exiting appropriately, meeting with coaches, departmental meetings, training staff, equipment, strength and conditioning, et cetera, nutrition. Those are the things that kind of go on this time of year in an effort to review what transpired, to gather information, all so that when the time is right, man, we start building for 2024. We do so with that information, with those lessons learned, with that experience individually and collectively. And so we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Do you foresee either Eddie or Mike Sullivan being candidates for the offensive coordinator job?
Not at this juncture, man. I'm looking at outside candidates and lining up the pecking order there. I am appreciative of their efforts in terms of what they did for us down the stretch. But I'm looking at outside candidates at this juncture.
Will Kenny resume his QB1 status?
You know, he will, but obviously there will be competition. There's always competition in this thing. We don't anoint anyone. Man, I'm appreciative of his efforts and where he is and excited about continuing to work with him. But certainly he will be challenged from a competition perspective moving forward. Competition brings the best out in all of us.
Hope of the franchise that Rudolph will be there?
I'm sorry?
Is it the hope of the franchise that Mason Rudolph will be back in providing that competition?
It is, but he is a free agent, and it is free agency. And so we'll see where that leads us.
Mike, you told the guys the other day in the meeting, I guess, that you intend to be back and disregard the rumors that were floating out there. You expect to get an extension this year?
Yes, I expect to be back, and I would imagine that those contract things are going to run their course, man. Art and I have a really good, transparent relationship. We communicate continually, often. I don't imagine it's going to be an issue, and I imagine it's going to get done in a timely manner at the appropriate time. But, you know, my mindset is to coach this football team, certainly.
So Mike Tomlin, he addressed a number of issues there. He started with the contract situation and the contract that he was asked about. So he was more open to answering that. But he also addressed some issues that the team could have where they have to bring in another offensive coordinator. And he said he's looking to the outside. And also that there will be competition at quarterback. Kenny Pickett will be penciled in as the starter, but there's going to be competition. So just addressed a number of issues, and that's what happens this time of the year once a team season is over. But just it was appropriate in the fact that he there was a question that the thought was he avoided it because he was kind of thinking through some things, but it wasn't the case. It was just right after the game. He just didn't feel like it was appropriate.
When he walked away, that was pretty funny, actually. He gave him that look like, if I stay here, I'm going to say something I'm going to regret, so I'm just walking out the door. And, I mean, we've all felt like that at certain times, dealing with nonsensical things in our jobs. But the thing for Tomlin, they got to have a quarterback. Tomlin is a great coach. He's proven that over the course of his 17 years as a head coach in Pittsburgh. But their quarterback situation's just a mess right now. Pickett hasn't shown that he's the guy. I mean, when Rudolph, turns out to be a halfway decent option, kind of as a retread, they got to find somebody that can be a star. It's funny, when Roethlisberger was a star, they were a dominating team. They were a relevant team. Without a relevant quarterback, they've kind of slid back to the pack.
Well, you know what their record was combined with those two guys when they started games?
What?
10-4. So Kenny Pickett was 7-4 in this season. Now you got to remember, going back to last season, he was a rookie, so of course he had some bumps then. But 7-4 as a starting quarterback this season, and then you couple that with Mason Rudolph. This is not including postseason, just the regular season. Mason Rudolph going 3-0. So 10-4 combined record between the two of them. So there's something that they have a base there that they can work with. It's just that you want to make sure you get the right guy under center. Now, the drop-off was when Mitch Trubisky was in there, which you can put that on the coaching staff to say that, okay, they dropped the ball there, and this guy never should have been on the field. They had a 3-game losing streak.
How likely is it that the Steelers bring back Mason Rudolph? I mean, what kind of a percentage are we talking about?
I would say 60-40, and it's not as if they don't want to bring him back. It'd be more on Mason Rudolph because with the way he played down the stretch, he may have earned some opportunities outside of the Steelers, and that'd be great for him if that's the case, because he came into this season as a free agent the same way, didn't get any interest, and the thought was that there was no way he would return to the Steelers. But when he didn't get any interest, and they were able to make that deal happen, and he even said that he had thoughts about what he was going to do post-playing career because of the fact that he got no interest, didn't think returning to the Steelers was an option, so he was looking at what he was going to do once he was done playing altogether.
So let me ask you a question. You're a big NFL guy, huge Steelers guy. Yes or no? Is Pickett the guy going forward?
It's still yet to be determined, and I'll tell you this is why.
Okay.
This is why. It's key that Mike Tomlin was asked about the offensive coordinator. Now, the offensive coordinator, and that was another mistake made by Mike Tomlin and the coaching staff. And
Matt Canada did not pan out at all.
Yeah, and whoever you want to put that on, if you want to put it on the GM, the Rooneys, whoever kept them around, but the Steelers have a certain way of doing business. And a lot of times that is to let these contracts play out, not necessarily with the head coach, but with position coaches, coordinators that are on staff. You evaluate them at the end of that, and then you say, okay, either we are going to get a new contract for this person, or we're not going to give them a new contract, and now we'll look for other options. So that was the situation coming into this season with Matt Canada. He had this final year remaining on his contract, but it was so bad, you saw that they had to make a change during the season. You look at it from the outside, it was always thought that he never should have been back for this season, but with the way the Steelers did business and have done for a long time, they brought him back to let the contract play out. If things didn't get better, they were going to look outside at the end of the season. But it was so bad that they had to do that before they planned on doing it. And it was so bad with him that with Kenny Pickett in his second season, it goes back a season before that. So Roethlisberger looked bad in his last season, and then Kenny Pickett has looked bad these next two seasons. So what's the common denominator? It's Matt Canada over the past 3 seasons that made the offense look terrible no matter who was at quarterback.
Probably something to some of that. I know that I completely agree with the first part of that. Roethlisberger looked bad his last year because he was 62 years old. I mean, I don't think any offensive coordinator, he couldn't make the throws. He had no mobility. He was done. He probably played a year or two beyond what he could have played.
Hey, Pigskin, we're going to reconnect with you if you can reconnect there. But I have to disagree with that in the fact that if you put, and we'll never know, but when, you think about some of the top offensive minds in the game, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, if you're talking the difference of Ben Roethlisberger with one of those guys as opposed to what he was dealing with Matt Canada, and, not liking to deal in hypotheticals or anything like that,
Well, just
just the fact that, if you're talking about the difference of putting him with one of the top offensive minds like Pigskin was talking about, there was no offensive coordinator that could have made him look good. Yeah, there were probably a lot that could have made him look good.
I mean, you just take a look at what Sean McVay's done with Matthew Stafford. I mean, take a look at what Detroit has done with Jared Goff. They thought he was all but washed up. Didn't give him half a chance when he got to Detroit. Now you see where Detroit is. Now I realize that's more of an overall team improvement, but Goff is still part of that. And so, yeah, I mean, if you would have put Roethlisberger with, a better offensive coordinator in that last season or two, yeah, you're probably going to see some better results.
Okay, we got you back, Pigskin.
Roethlisberger was done that last year. And to compare him to Stafford still throws the ball about as well as anybody in the league. And Goff, washed up, he's still young. I mean, you can't compare those two guys to him. I mean, listen.
Well,
I'm
the point of that though is the a different offensive mind. Yeah, I mean it was shown in the results of this season, Pigskin. Just to say, like once Matt Canada was gone, the offense played and improved so much more, and especially when you dig into the numbers to see what it actually looked like compared to when he was there and once he was gone, it looked totally different. And these were two interim offensive coordinators where you had one serving as the primary offensive coordinator and then the other was the play caller. So you're telling me a guy that is the offensive coordinator, once he's gone and these are two guys that are elevated into a new role and it looks completely different and you can tell how much better it is, you're telling me that guy could make somebody look bad at the end of their career?
Not when they're 62 years old. I
Okay,
don't know.
we can go
I think
back
he
and
was
forth
just
on that.
physically done.
Okay.
Here's the thing that I think that you're going to have to figure out as a Pittsburgh fan, and Mr. Tomlin's going to have to figure out as well. Is Pickett the guy going forward? And Tomlin is not convinced that he is. That's pretty obvious. I thought he was very gracious and very diplomatic in his remarks, but he's not convinced that this guy. I'm not convinced. Maybe he is. I mean, maybe he'll turn out to be excellent. But man, right now, I just get a feeling that he's not going to be the guy. You know, I just call it a hunch.
And he may not be, but you know what Tomlin said there is competition is good always. And it doesn't matter, you know, what position you're talking about. Now, of course, the quarterback position is different. You do ideally want that franchise quarterback that there is no competition for. And if something happens with that guy, is quality enough to come in and win some games like Mason Rudolph was able to do. So if that ideally was the situation, you have your franchise starting quarterback. Doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't have to be Pickett. But you have that guy, and then you have somebody who's capable to come in and win some games in case that starter misses some games. That's what every team in the league is looking for.
Well, sure. When does Pittsburgh pick in the draft?
It's going to be somewhere in the 20s. No, it's going to be somewhere in the 20s because they were a playoff team.
Just a thought. You might not like this. I've watched this guy a lot the last few years.
Stop it!
I
don't
think
even
with a
don't
high
even do it.
First round pick.
Stop it!
With a high first round pick or a second round pick, McCarthy's going to be there.
Stop it!
I'm telling you.
Stop
I'm telling you right now, J.J. McCarthy is miles better than Kenny Pickett.
No, he's
yes,
not.
He is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is, Joe.
He's not.
Yes, he is. I've watched both of them. Yes, he is. Okay. Well,
I think you
we
watched.
might have to have some kind of interesting agreement.
I think you've watched a lot more J.J. McCarthy than you've watched the Kenny Pickett. But that's beside the point. The point here is, and we've talked about this before, if you're talking about getting somebody that's a similar skill set, like we were saying with a new offensive coordinator, they're going to give Kenny Pickett an opportunity. If you're talking about somebody with a similar skill set. Now, if you're talking about somebody where you go outside of that, and there's a lot of talk about trading for Justin Fields, Russell Wilson maybe, Jaden Daniels, somebody, if you're talking about somebody with a different skill set, then that's a different conversation.
J.J. McCarthy's got a different skill set than Kenny Pickett. I can promise you.
What's his different skill set?
He's got a bigger arm. And he's much more mobile. He runs better.
I don't know about much more mobile.
Let's face it,
I don't know about much more mobile.
No, he's 10 times more mobile, Joe.
He's not. He's not.
They didn't run him much this year because they had absolutely nothing behind him and they didn't want him to get hurt. Joe, he can run, man. You wouldn't have seen it. But
No. I know he can run, but Kenny Pickett can also run. So that's the whole point of it. He can run also.
Kenny Pickett's going to be running to the unemployment line, getting his checks because he's got little to no future in this game. That's
you might be
gut,
you might be absolutely right on that. But we'll know, they are going to give him another opportunity to evaluate him. That's not to say that he's going to be the guy, but they're going to evaluate him with a different offensive coordinator and competition.
Well,
so
we'll see.
That's where it is. Also, Gerard Mayo is somebody who was introduced as the new Patriots coach, but we'll get to that probably on the other side of the break. We'll go to the phone and talk to JK. What's up, JK?
Hey, yeah. Joe, I've been a Steelers fan a long time, and I've been trying to figure out, maybe you could explain it to me. What is Tomlin's philosophy? I mean, does he run the ball? Does he need a pass? I mean, is he going to have a quarterback that can do a Bradshaw? I mean, I can't really read this guy, and I'll hang up and listen. Thank you, buddy.
I appreciate it, JK. So his philosophy is he likes for teams to be able to run the ball, and that is something that's been an issue with the Steelers over the past few years, where the offensive line hasn't been as strong. They did make improvements to the offensive line this year, and once again, it goes back to when Matt Canada was gone, you saw the running game increase and look so much better because they couldn't blame it on the offensive line anymore. And they couldn't blame it on the offensive line simply because the offensive line played and looked a lot better. So there were a lot of elements into what was being held back at the time that Matt Canada was there.
Well, you guys better hope for your future that you get somebody that's better than Matt Canada for next year, because it sounds like Canada's become kind of a scapegoat for kind of mediocre Pittsburgh offenses.
So you know what, though, Pigskin? It'd be impossible to not get somebody better than Matt Canada. It would be. It'd be impossible.
I'll
go with your
star has dimmed. There's no doubt.
I'll go with your guy, J.J. McCarthy. Not at quarterback. Make J.J. McCarthy the offensive coordinator. They'd be better. You can pick anybody that's an offensive mind, and they would be a better offensive coordinator than what was shown over the past 3 seasons. It shows in the fact however you want to feel personally, in your opinion, about Roethlisberger, Kenny Pickett, it shows 2 different guys, and if you want to include some more in there that actually touched the field, it was proven in what it looked like with and without him. It looked totally different.
Well, as they say, we shall see.
We shall see. We're going to come back with more here on Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher, and we are going to get into Gerard Mayo being introduced as the Patriots' new coach. And he had some interesting things to get into and just talking about what a dream it was for him to become the Patriots' next head coach. We're going to do that on the other side here on Out of Bounds. Stay tuned.
Listen for Coach Kevin Kelly Wednesdays during the Zone, presented by the Wooded Rock Athletic Club. Join the Wooded Rock Athletic Club and save 30% off joining fees with no monthly contract. LRAC.com.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Arkansas State fell to Southern Miss 69-66. The Red Wolves are 3-3 in conference play. They'll face Texas State on Saturday. In the SEC, LSU pulled an upset over 22nd-ranked Ole Miss, beating them 89-80. They're led by senior guard Jordan Wright, who had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. 8th-ranked Kentucky took care of business, beating Mississippi State 90-77. And 22nd-ranked Auburn also took care of business, beating Vanderbilt 80-65. Tonight in college basketball, Wooded Rock will take on Southern Indiana at 7:30. Radio coverage for the game can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. TV coverage can be seen on ESPN+. And Central Arkansas will take on Lipscomb at 7. That game can also be seen on ESPN+. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Arkansas, the wait is over. Brewski's North is officially open for business in the Lakewood Village Shopping Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. with all of your pub grub favorites and happy hour drink specials. Come get your grub on with the all-new Smash Burger lineup, best wings in the city with 11 different sauces, or try the new additions to the menu like the spicy Asian chicken salad. Live music starts the weekend every Thursday with karaoke every Friday and Saturday. Brewski's North, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Jeremiah Matthews in Little Rock, Justin Sollers in North Little Rock, or Michael Ludwig in Greenbrier today.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. You can call Heartland home.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Dietrich Bonhoeffer writes, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions,
This saying found around the world does not arise from the brashly worldly wisdom of an incorrigible. It instead reveals deep Christian insight. At the beginning of a new year, many people have nothing better to do than to make a list of bad deeds and resolve from now on to do better. But we need more than good intentions. We need prayer, perseverance, and the perspicacity to do good deeds. God bless us, everyone, to quote the famous Tiny Tim. When you walk into a Doublebee's, you will be greeted warmly with a welcome to Doublebee's. Doublebee's is an Arkansas company serving all in the natural state in our 34 locations. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Coach Nolan Richardson joins Randy and Rick every Thursday for Rollin' with Nolan, presented by Slim Chickens of Central Arkansas. There are a lot of places to get chicken, but there's only one Slim's. It's Rollin' with Nolan, Thursday at 6 on 103.7 The Buzz.
Well, now all the decorations are down, and you're looking around thinking, we really ought to freshen up the place. It's a new year, and the best time to save at Lazy Boy. The inventory overstock sale is here. Upgrade every room in your home. Hot buys all over the store. Fabric recliners starting at $3.99. Leather recliners only $7.99. Stop by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor for their inventory overstock sale, up to 50% off store-wide. Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the Lazy.
Check out Hogg's Meat Market's monthly specials and meat packages at hoggsmeatmarket.com. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Give me a man after midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man after midnight. Take me through the darkness to the break of the day. Give me a man after midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man after midnight. Take me through the darkness to the break of the day.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. We're going to hear from Gerard Mayo, who was introduced as the Patriots' new head coach.
I've learned to trust my instincts throughout my career, and I trust that Gerard is the right person to lead the Patriots back to the championship-level contention and long-term success. So, it is with great excitement and pleasure to introduce the next Patriots head coach, Gerard Mayo.
I appreciate you, Thunder. I call him Young Thundercat, has a young heart. One thing I did learn from you today, I also have a prepared statement. Yours is in like 30 font, Times New Roman, and I'm in 10. So, hey, I'll take that note. Just want to thank my family, first and foremost. I see a lot of you guys on the front row, first two rows, and this has definitely been a dream of mine. I know one thing that Thunder talked about was I had always been a coach in his mind. I would say I'm a huge believer in just developing people, whether it's on the football field, whether it's off the football field, in the media world, in business. My calling is to be a teacher and to develop people and help them see pretty much what they don't want to see, but they need to see. So my job has always been that is my calling. Becoming a Patriot, it's never really felt like a job. When I first got here in 2008, I was a first-round draft pick. 2007, you know the season, 2007. Don't worry about that one. But I come into an organization where the culture was established, the people, not only the players, but the people that worked around the building. And I was like, man, maybe I'm the missing piece, right? Maybe I'm the missing piece. So I was drafted in 2008, and then the first game of the season, Tom Brady gets hurt. He's out for the year. Most people wrote us off that season, but that's when I really had an opportunity to see the culture at work. Many people, they look at culture as a, retrospective way of either validating success or, validating a losing season. I would say here the culture starts at the top. Mr. Kraft and the family starts at the top, but it also has to permeate throughout the organization. And I've always tried to carry that flag for the Kraft family. As he's told you, look, these guys win at a lot. They win at a lot. And I love being here. I took a break. I went to Optum. I needed a break from Bill. I went to Optum for about 4 years. And I came back. And one thing I came back with, I learned a lot at Optum. Larry Renfro, Mike Mateo, those guys. I learned a lot at Optum about diversity, right? About diversity and inclusion. And you better believe it. Being the first black coach here in New England means a lot to me. But those guys taught me you have to take ideas from other people, black, white, green, yellow, it really doesn't matter. Old, young. One thing you'll notice about me in our interaction as we continue to go is I don't like echo chambers. I want people around me that are going to question my ideas or question the way we have done things in the past. Because realistically, this game's a lot different than when I was drafted in 2008. At the same time, that's why I try to spend so much time in developing young men and young women so they know I don't want to teach them, what to think. I want to teach them how to think. And once we get to that point, I think we can get back to where we need to be at the top.
There were the words of Gerard Mayo, new Patriots head coach. He talked about stepping away for a bit and coming back to join the coaching staff there. And also pretty interesting that he calls Robert Kraft Young Thundercat. That was pretty funny.
Well, so does that mean
Robert
they get like
Kraft
matching
has been called
tattoos
some other
or
things
something?
in the last few years? Yeah.
Yeah, he it's funny with him also because Robert Kraft's speaking of him specifically, whenever somebody approaches him, somebody that doesn't know him, and he's done this several times where they'll approach him, Mr. Kraft, and he said, "Don't call me Mr. Kraft." He doesn't want to be called Mr. Kraft. He says, "Call him either Robert or RKK, whatever you want to call him." But he said, "Don't call him Mr. Kraft." And so that's why you see somebody like Gerard Mayo who can come up with a nickname for him and relate to him in a certain way. And he seems like the type of person that he has good relationships with a lot of the players, and Tom Brady specifically being one of those. And that's where they ran into problems in the past with Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. Tom Brady had a direct line to Robert Kraft, and so if they disagreed on certain things at times, Tom Brady could go voice his opinion to Robert Kraft, and then they had issues.
So who are they going to use going forward as a quarterback? Not to beat that dead conversation to death that we just had with Pittsburgh.
Now that's
Mac Jones.
That's something that is probably more realistic, that J.J. McCarthy would be available when the Patriots draft. So that's something that may be more realistic.
The Patriots and Pittsburgh have a long history of taking Michigan players, both of them. The Patriots particularly in the last few years. But look, Mac Jones is probably not going to be the guy. Bailey Zappe's not going to be the guy. I don't think Rudolph or Pickett are going to be the guy. You got to have a quarterback, Joe. You got to have a quarterback.
See, I thought we moved on to
two or three
talking about the Patriots.
You don't have a quarterback.
I thought we moved on to talking about the Patriots.
I'm saying Mac Jones. Mac Jones ain't the guy. He's not.
Yeah, but you brought Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph back into the conversation. Leave them behind.
Well, because I like you, and I know that's your team, and your team's going nowhere until you get a quarterback. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they'll get some things worked out. We'll see what happens. They got plenty of time to figure it out. They're in the off season now, so
yeah, they do.
they got a lot of. And here's the thing about it, Pigskin. They have a lot more issues now. Quarterback is always going to be the most glaring for anybody, especially people on the outside, to say that team needs a quarterback. But they need middle linebackers. They need a center where it looked like Alabama center was snapping the ball at times this season, and we know the problems that they had with the low snaps. So they got a number of different issues, and they got to continue to get better not only at the quarterback position, but a number of positions around him. And, you could almost equate them to the Chicago Bears, even though they had a better record and made the playoffs. But they had some of the same issues there that they need to continue to get better across the board. Secondary, there's an issue there. So there's much more than just a quarterback. A quarterback is not going to solve all the issues that they have. Let's go to the phones and talk to.
I've been watching the.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I've been watching the Lions all year, and as good as they've been, my nephew of all people, Jude Monan, he said several times, take the entire draft and spend it on defensive players. I'm like,
there you go.
He's right, man. The defense is a sieve. So you got to figure out what the weakness is, and you got to start shoring that up.
Let's go to the phones and talk to 49er John. What's up, 49er John?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Preacher, congratulations.
Well, thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. I imagine you're kind of disappointed that you're not going to get a beat down on those Cowboys like you were hoping to.
No. I'm they taken care of. Now I'm looking forward to playing Detroit. We want to smoke with Detroit now.
Both teams.
We can really shut a certain person up.
Yeah, both teams have another game in front of them, but that's the matchup already, huh?
Let me tell you guys something about this.
Who you gonna be shutting up, John? I need to know that.
Hey,
who you talking about?
His name is Reggie Swin. Reggie Swin. That's his name, Reggie Swin. And listen, preacher, check this out. When it comes to the love, the quarterback at Green Bay, he's getting all the love, but y'all forgetting about Brock Purdy. Y'all are forgetting about Brock Purdy.
What about him?
But love is getting all the love.
What about him?
We just gonna sit back and watch.
Oh, you're not gonna tell us about him?
What about love, Brock Purdy?
Yeah. You said that
Google him.
No. You said everybody is forgetting about him, so enlighten everybody what they're forgetting about him.
Before the 4-interception game with Baltimore, he was the leading candidate to be MVP.
You know what? It's funny that you mentioned that because that is the lasting memory. That's what everybody thinks about.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, just remember that. Not forget about Brock Purdy. And then, hey, Dallas fans, we know y'all not winning no damn Super Bowl next year. You just ensured that by signing Mike McCartney. So, Mr. Reggie, don't get on the radio trying to spin it and make it sound good. The curse is not over. The curse has just begun for y'all. And I don't understand why Mike Tomlin apologized. Belichick never apologized. He does reporters way worse. What makes him different?
Yeah, he thought through it. He didn't have to do anything, but he just said that he could have handled it a different way.
I mean, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. He just walked away. He didn't say anything out of his mouth. He didn't say anything disrespectful. He just walked away. How many coaches does that after losing a playoff game? They do it all the time. How many of them apologize? Zero. But why was this a big deal? Because he done it. I just really can't understand that.
Well, he brought it up. It wasn't that somebody else brought it up. He brought it up.
It's not that much of a big deal. Tomlin
is not a big deal at all.
Universally respected. He's a cool cat. I mean, Tomlin's great. Tomlin's not a problem at all.
And listen, hey, you guys, you gotta unless you want to watch Hee Haw Night Rider, you got to watch the 49ers this weekend. All you Cowgirl fans, so enjoy. Have a good day.
All right, we got more of Out of Bounds coming up live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher, and many ways to get into the show. We'll tell you about it on the other side as we take a break. Stay tuned. More of Out of Bounds coming up.
The Bucks are back. At the 34th Annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic presented by Oaklawn, January 26th through 28th at the State Fairgrounds. You could win a lifetime hunting license, a Browning A-Bolt rifle, or a $1,000 gift card from Hunter's Refuge. The Taka Hunting Gear Game and Fish Foundation free kids zone, including a trout pond, hoverball, Bwana gym, and more. Hunters, bring your antlers for your chance to win a Tracker Off-Road 800 SX from Bradford Marine and ATV. Rattlesnakes, chainsaw carving, birds of prey, monster trucks, and the Oaklawn Big Buck Chili Cook-Off. The Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic presented by Oaklawn. Tree stands, clothing, RVs, ATVs, UTVs, ammo, and more. Hundreds of vendors with huge discounts. It's a Hall of Fame event and an Arkansas tradition. January 26th through 28th at the State Fairgrounds. Sponsored by Reliance Bank, Oaklawn Hot Springs, Arkansas, Bradford Marine and ATV, Tracker Off-Road, Hunter's Refuge, Remington, Taka Hunting Gear, Outlaw Beer, and 103.7 The Buzz. Visit BigBuckClassic.com and Facebook for more info.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of 100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of 200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of 300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Office in Midtown, Little Rock. 415 North McKinley Street, Suite 310, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72205. Gianna Missouri, licensed in Arkansas. CordellCordell.com.
Some people are born for more fun, more freedom, more excitement. Some people are born and see the future before it's here. They see the GV70 for its sleek design and unmatched handling and performance. They see the G90 for its space, luxury, smooth ride, and unsurpassed technology. What were you born for? The all-new Genesis of Conway, now open at 1075 Collier Drive in Conway. The future of luxury, today.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Baker, president and publisher of AY Media Group here in Arkansas. We publish two of the biggest and most widely read magazines in the entire state, AY Magazine and Arkansas Money and Politics. At AY and Arkansas Money and Politics, we keep you up to date on all the news you need to know and the stories you want to hear. Visit us online at aymag.com and armoneyandpolitics.com to see for yourself. Now, more than ever, it is important to be mindful of where you get your news and support your local businesses. With AY Media Group, you get the best of both worlds.
Same great deals, all new location for Hogg's Meat Market in North Little Rock at 3901 JFK Boulevard. Call them today at 501-758-7700 for all their specials at Hogg's Meat Market. The Steak People.
Shoulda
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, Life and Feedback. We have some messages there. Dylan says, let's remind 49er John that the 49ers have a longer Super Bowl drought than the Cowboys. So worry about the 49ers curse and your own curse. And that is something that does seem to worry a lot about what other teams have going on.
Well, that's a good part about being a sports fan, Joe. It's not just that you're rooting for your team, you're rooting against other teams.
Yeah, you can do that. That is fun sometimes, but, it kind of goes back to like we were talking about at, closer to the beginning of the show. If another team that you despise wins a championship, what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do about it, except you can
suffer.
Yeah, you can continue to say, you don't like that team or whatever, but in reality, there's nothing you can really do. Think about how you felt in recent years when Ohio State won a national championship. You don't like them. That, didn't do anything for you, the fact that they won it. And now Ohio State fans are feeling the same way about Michigan.
I've watched Ohio State fans suffer for the last 3 years as we have beaten them into the ground, and it is just absolutely blissful. I've loved every minute of it. Yes.
Darren says that Toddy P says, man, you're doing a great job. Really like what you bring to the table. He says that on Gangster Museum of America Life and Feedback and Southern Structural Solutions text line.
Wow, doubled up on it. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Let's see what Ethan has to say. Okay, Ethan, he wants to take a shot at you, Pigskin. Southern Structural Solutions text line. He says Michigan sucks and they're a bunch of cheaters. And he put his name on it. He said that's Ethan in Hot Springs.
Yeah, well, that's not the same Ethan that was doing the show with us the other day, was it?
No, no, absolutely, no, that's not Ethan. No,
okay,
this is a different Ethan.
Checking. Well, Ethan from Hot Springs, I'd ask him how his team did last year. 4-8. So Ethan, 4-8. Okay, if you want to use pejorative insults, you should probably not insult teams that are 15-0 that won 11 more games than your team last year. So why don't you shut it, Ethan? That would be my suggestion.
Okay, so let's assume that Jim Harbaugh is going to move on to the NFL. And he has already interviewed with a couple of teams, and there are multiple teams that have interest. What's the best situation for Jim Harbaugh in the NFL?
He's got to go take the Chargers gig. I mean, they've got most of the pieces in place to start winning. They've got a great quarterback who has a huge, huge ceiling. They've got some trained killers like Bosa on defense. I don't think they have too many pieces that they still have to put in place to really start winning. And I think Harbaugh's got a good track record of that. He would come in, they would be tougher, they would be more physical, they develop a running game, and quarterback's best friend is a running game. And I think Chargers are made to order for the guy.
Yeah, Chargers would be a great fit. There's some others out there that maybe, they could probably entice them a little bit more and probably put more money on the table. And we know that that's always going to have an effect on what ultimately happens. But there's interest there. There's interest with the Falcons. They're interviewing him. They've already interviewed Belichick. The Titans have been mentioned. And let's not forget that the Titans, they're not too far removed from winning division titles, being in the playoffs. They need a little upgrade to the roster, as many teams out there do. And so we saw that when Harbaugh took over the Niners, the situation that they were in, he became the head coach because they weren't a good team at the time. But he went in there and got them turned around. So it's not as if he needs to have that team that's already in place with the franchise quarterback and certain things that are coming to the table. He's shown that as a head coach, he can build it. He can build it whether we're talking about the ideal situation or the situation that's not ideal.
If he were to take the Falcons gig, I think he'd draft McCarthy. I think that would be his guy. McCarthy's better
That'd be an
than
option too.
Ritter, I can promise you that.
That'd be an option.
It would. I would not touch the Carolina job because their owner's a nut job. And, I mean, all he does is fire people and trade their best assets like McCaffrey. And I wouldn't touch Carolina. I wouldn't touch Nashville because Vrabel he was a good, solid coach. Again, to hit that familiar refrain we've talked about, he doesn't have a quarterback. Okay? If you put a good quarterback on that team, I think that they would win. But then the other thing, they trade away their.
All right, Pigskin, we need to reconnect once again. But, yeah, Chargers, it looks ideal. But if you think about what Bill Belichick had to say, he said he's looking for talented teams that may be a step away or missing a few pieces, and he feels like he could be that missing piece or what he brings to the table and helping to build the roster could be the missing piece. So it's interesting to hear that from Bill Belichick, who, after interviewing with the Falcons, he almost was putting it out there like the Falcons would be an ideal situation for him.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you got enough young talent that you can kind of groom. I mean, make it your last stop. You're there for just a few seasons or however long you feel like you can continue to go at it and see what you can do. At an NFC spot, and certainly the NFC South is certainly a winnable division. So, I mean, if you can put a decent season together, you're in the playoffs.
That's what's key to it also, Todd. It's a great point. NFC South, the division they play in, it's up for grabs. And these teams have been close the past couple of seasons. So even a team like the Panthers, who's looking for a new head coach and an upgrade there, they wouldn't necessarily be out of any kind of mix to come back and do some good things in that division.
As we talked about with other teams, it's about the coaching staff and the offensive coordinator and the support staff around it.
We have Hour 3 of Out of Bounds coming up, live from the Hoggs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned for more of Out of Bounds. It's Hour 3.
Justin Akery and Wes Moore are on location Friday at the 42nd Annual Arkansas Marine Expo. Arkansas's premier boat show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the State House Convention Center in Little Rock. Ski boats, bass boats, wakeboard boats, party barges are all on display and at discount show prices. Win a new Sea-Doo Spark courtesy of BRP, Bradford Marine and HCV, and the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. It's The Zone on location Friday at the Arkansas Marine Expo at the State House Convention Center.
Cord TV's Chanley Painter checks in with Morning Mayhem courtesy of the Gangster Museum of America in the Hattery of Hot Springs. The former Miss Arkansas will fill us in on the latest high-profile cases. Don't miss Chanley Painter with Morning Mayhem on 103.7 The Buzz.
I'm Hunter Bell at Bell Chevrolet. We know the best part of being in Arkansas is the people. That's why we believe you're not just customers. You're our friends and family. We're determined to go above and beyond to help make things a little easier. And we put in the hours every day so we can take care of our families and you can take care of yours.
We are here for you, Arkansas. Come help us make it even better at Bale. Shop Bale Chevrolet and BaleChevrolet.com today. Find new roads.
It's where the big boys come to play.
This is madness. This is Sparta.
103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock.
Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb. Arkansas State Police and other law enforcement agencies swept through northeast Arkansas, making 245 arrests in just 8 hours. State police say the operation was focused on removing wanted and repeated offenders from the streets of Crittenden County. In addition to the arrest, law enforcement officers recovered 8 guns and illegal drugs ranging from crack cocaine to marijuana. 449 violations are being charged in 75 criminal arrests. 13 DWI arrests were also made. The winter weather continues to force schools and some businesses to close until more roads become clear, but some local business owners have kept their doors open through it all. Eric Hergit, owner of Heights Corner Market, says staying open has made a big difference. His biggest issue has been employee safety. He adds customers have expressed a lot of gratitude because not all grocery stores are open. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort presents Oaklawn Race Day with Justin Akery and David Wanjanati every Saturday morning at 11. Oaklawn Race Day is your inside track to America's hottest thoroughbred action and Arkansas' source for racing news and analysis. Oaklawn Race Day, presented by Oaklawn, Arkansas's only racing casino resort.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
After some light freezing rain across the eastern half of the state, we'll see clouds through the rest of the day and a high around 37. Tonight slowed down to 23. Little sunshine Friday, but a high of just 32. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel. Dinner for 2 for $60. Split a 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, and our famous salad bar.
Every Tuesday morning during basketball season, you can hear Caleb Battle when he checks in with the guys on Morning Mayhem. It's made possible by Edwards Food Giant. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people. The only stop you'll have to make for all your family's grocery needs. Caleb Battle on your home for Arkansas Razorbacks basketball, 103.7 The Buzz.
It's trade-in time at Gwatney Chevrolet. Kick off the new year in style and comfort with a 2024 Chevy Equinox. Yours for just $23,999 with a qualifying trade-in. Or the iconic Chevy Silverado. Snag it for under $48,000 with your trade-in. Visit GwatneyChevrolet.com or stop by and see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville to learn more. We'll see you soon. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked. 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. River Valley Tractor, closer than you think.
It's the Oaklawn Big Buzz Chili Cook-Off, Saturday, January 27th at the 34th Annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic. Register your team at 1037thebuzz.com. First place wins $1,000 and proceeds benefit Shriners Hospitals for Children.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the Hogg's Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. We're going to get into your Razor Hog update in just a few minutes here. If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America live fan feedback. We're going to get into your Razor Hog update, also coming up in this hour. A fun game. We're going to play with Pigskin. This is something, sometimes you get into the flow of a show and certain ideas come about and they're spontaneous, and we have a fun game now that we're going to play with Pigskin coming up after the Razor Hog update.
This is your Razor Hog Update on Out of Bounds, presented by True Service Community Federal Credit Union, where they offer new mortgage loans, refinancing, auto loans, and small business loans. Online at trueservice.net.
For your Razor Hog update, Razorback baseball is on the radar. We've gotten a highly ranked team once again, according to all the ranking services. Hagen Smith is Perfect Game's preseason pitcher of the year. So that's an honor that a lot of players look forward to as preseason is coming along, but they want to have those honors after the season also. They want to perform to a certain level to be able to receive some of those postseason honors. And then, according to D1, Arkansas has the top freshman class, number one ranked freshman class, according to D1 for Arkansas Razorbacks baseball.
Hard to believe that season is 30 days away. Softball starts in like 3 weeks. Get ready for it, folks.
As we look at snow outside.
Exactly.
And there's snow in that part of the state also. But yeah, it just shows that the baseball and softball programs have been built to a certain point where the expectations are there, and you see that a lot of these players are honored going into the season just because of how they performed in the past and what they expect from these teams with the upcoming season.
And now it's just a matter of going on the field and proving it.
That's what it always is. So, Pigskin, do you have any idea of this game that we're wanting to play with you?
No, but I'm interested. Let's play.
Okay, so the game is NFL teams. How many quarterbacks is J.J. McCarthy better than? And when we so we're gonna keep track of this.
We're gonna game of Would You Rather.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yes,
there's some obvious ones here where Bills, they're in a good quarterback situation. Let's go on, and we're going division by division. Dolphins.
Okay.
Tua.
No.
Oh,
No.
really? That's surprising that you said he's not better than Tua. Okay.
No, don't be offensive, Joe. I mean,
No,
come
that
on,
is surprising.
I recognize sarcasm when I hear it.
No, I'm being serious. That we
Tua's good as long as he doesn't have his 15th concussion. Tua's one hit away from being retired, so I wouldn't get too snippy about that. But
Okay.
continue.
So the Jets, they seem to be in a good situation, assuming that Aaron Rodgers comes back. You've already said Patriots, so that's one. We're going to mark that one.
Yes.
Ravens, we know they're in a good situation.
No.
Browns, Deshaun Watson. Is
No,
McCarthy
but I'm
better?
not sold on Watson. I think it's a horrible contract, but no.
Okay, you've said your piece on the Steelers. We know that the Bengals with Joe Burrow, they're in a good quarterback situation.
Yes.
Texans, they're still in the playoffs. They're good with their rookie quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Jags are good.
Sure.
Colts, the next team, they have a rookie quarterback, and Anthony Richardson. Is Mike McCarthy better?
J.J. McCarthy, not Mike McCarthy. Yes, J.J. McCarthy will have a better career than Anthony Richardson.
Okay, so far we have two. Tennessee Titans, Will Levis.
Yes.
All right, we're at 3. Chiefs are good. Raiders, Aiden O'Connell. If he happens to be their starting quarterback now, it's a question with them who is going to be.
Well, McCarthy beat him last year head-to-head in the Big Ten Championship. I'd take McCarthy.
All right, Broncos. We know their quarterback situation is up in the air, but let's say that it is Russell Wilson.
I think Russell Wilson's gone, and I think McCarthy's better than whoever they have behind him.
Well, let's say that it is Russell Wilson. Is he better than Russell Wilson?
Well, I don't know. They benched Russell Wilson, so you tell me.
It's a yes or no.
Yeah.
Yes or no from you.
Wilson's 35 years old. McCarthy's young. I take McCarthy over him.
Okay.
He's got a bigger upside. I think Wilson's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We just wanted to mark it down. We just want to make sure we're on par to what.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Chargers, Justin Herbert, they're in a good situation.
No.
Cowboys, Dak. Is J.J. McCarthy better than Dak? You say yes.
Yep.
Okay. See, now, that's more surprising that you say he's better than Dak, but you said he's not better than Tua. That's surprising.
I think Tua's a better passer. I just don't trust Dak in the playoffs. I don't blame that loss on Tua the other day. It was 50 below. I mean, a lot of other it was like a perfect storm. Tua, if he stays healthy, I think you got to take him over McCarthy. What is Dak ever going to do in the playoffs that would make any Dallas fan think that they're going to win with this guy?
How do we know
don't see it.
How do we know what J.J. McCarthy is going to do in the league, period, at this point?
No, you don't. Everything is speculative, Joe. That's the nature of your show. So, continue.
Okay, so Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
Hurts has gotten to the Super Bowl. I think you got to go with Hurts at this point.
Giants, Daniel Jones.
Oh, I'd take McCarthy over him in a minute.
All right. Commanders, Sam Howell.
I'd take McCarthy.
Lions, Jared Goff.
I'd take Goff at this point.
Packers, Jordan Love.
I got to go with Love. He's looking like he's got a bright future.
Vikings, Kirk Cousins, if it is Kirk Cousins, but let's assume that it is Kirk Cousins coming back.
McCarthy. I'd take McCarthy.
Okay. Bears, Justin Fields.
I'm not sure about Fields. I've gone back and forth about him. I mean, obviously they could pick Caleb Williams with that first pick if they want. I'm not sure Williams is going to be better than Fields. I think Fields has got tremendous potential. I don't think he's been coached all that well. I don't think he's got a lot of pieces around him. So I don't know. At this point, I'd stay with Fields.
Bucks, Baker Mayfield.
McCarthy.
Saints, Derek Carr.
Big time McCarthy.
All right. Falcons, you've already said your piece on that. Panthers, Bryce Young.
I don't know. I mean, Young had a great college career. He's looked terrible in the pros. It's hard to judge how good anybody's going to look for Carolina. They're such a tire fire at this point.
Just think about the two quarterbacks. Which one would you take, McCarthy, Bryce Young?
I think McCarthy does everything that Young does. So there you go.
So you're taking McCarthy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 49ers, Brock Purdy.
Pains me to say it, but you got to go with Purdy at this point.
Rams, Matt Stafford. That has to be a
Stafford.
No. Yeah. Okay. Seahawks,
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
I think McCarthy could be as good as Smith. I think McCarthy's younger and cheaper.
Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray.
Depends if he's healthy. I mean, he's missed about half of his career.
Okay,
so
if
I
he
don't know.
let's assume he's healthy. Are you taking Kyler Murray?
If he's healthy, I'd take. If he's healthy at this point, I'd take Murray.
All right, let's see where we are on these numbers. Now, this is what we were trying to figure out in playing this game. We are at 14 quarterbacks, and that's kind of where we thought it would be.
About half.
That's exactly what we thought when we were kind of discussing this thing and how fun it would be to play this game. The thought was you would say J.J. McCarthy is better than half the quarterbacks in the league, and the numbers show that's exactly what it is.
I would have told you that 15 minutes ago.
Well, we had
going
to
through them team by team.
Yeah, well,
I'm glad you did.
We wanted to do it that way and go
I'm
team
not
by
pushing
team.
back.
But
I'm glad you did.
That was kind of the thought that was there. We just wanted to break it down even more so, just to say, is he better than this guy or this guy? That's exactly where we were, though. We thought it was half the league.
Yeah. I think half of the quarterbacks in the league are stiffs. That's what I think. I don't think with most of these guys you're ever going to win. And it's not proven, as you said, that McCarthy's going to win. He might not, except he's won everywhere he's been. He's always been good. He's got those intangibles that you look for in a quarterback. And I think he's got as much of an upside as half of the guys that are starting in the league right now. I would say that.
You know, you can apply that same train of thought to a lot of quarterbacks, who won everywhere he had been until he got to the NFL.
Bryce Young.
Matt Barkley.
Bryce Young, exactly.
Yeah, the two guys that I think they went to the same school in California. So, yeah, Matt Barkley, he fits that mold. So,
Sam Darnold. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm telling you this right now. I'd put $1,000 down that McCarthy will have as good an NFL career as Kenny Pickett. I wouldn't even.
Why does it go back to Kenny Pickett? We just went through 13 other quarterbacks.
Because I know it annoys you, and that's why I'm bringing it
No,
up.
it does. It doesn't annoy me. I mean, say it all you want to.
I don't think he's any good.
I
do not think he's any good.
And actually, we may have miscalculated on that. It may actually be 15 quarterbacks because I don't think I penciled the Steelers in. So, because you had already said your piece on how you felt about that anyway, so I don't even think I included the Steelers on it. So, yeah, it shakes out where it's at least 15.
Yeah, include them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're definitely included now. Let's go to the phones and talk to Hogg Wild. What's up, Hogg Wild?
Good afternoon, Joe, Todd, Pigskin, Preacher.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, man. I've been enjoying the show so far. Pigskin, I always enjoy your input. We got a delay on Pigskin.
No, go ahead. Go ahead with what you were saying.
I just want to say, first I want to congratulate Pigskin on Michigan winning. You know, I had them picked first of the year if they didn't have any major injuries, like a quarterback, running back, receivers, half their offensive line get wiped out. I figured they'd win it, and sure enough, they did. And they overcame all the hardball stuff. Second, the Hogs, boy, we needed that the other night. Basketball.
Yeah,
Got a good victory.
definitely need that. That was one that you could not afford to lose, especially after having such a big lead.
They've been struggling, and to let them come back from 20 down and have just almost like one guy beat us, that's what would have been the killer.
Well,
there.
It wasn't just the one player for Texas A&M. I suspect the referees had a lot to do with it too. But that's
and then on the Cowboys, Joe, can you remember? I think it's been about 3 years ago. McCarthy has been with the Cowboys 4 years this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think 3 years ago I called in on your show and talked to you and John and told y'all how I wasn't happy with him as a coach. And I had the same feeling when Bielema was hired at Arkansas, just kind of like blah, for some reason. And I think it's time to get him out of there and let's talk to Mr. Belichick. I think there's a good nucleus there that he could work with. I knew, Pigskin, I knew I'd get that response from you. I knew it. And I love it. But yeah, that's what's going to take.
Listen, HW, there's a story to tell about that. I was in the studio on Justin's show when he announced that Bielema had been hired at Arkansas. And Justin was kind of going really, oh, this is great. This is a great hire. Nobody saw that. I said, he's not going to win, man. Why do you say that? Why are you being negative? I said, Justin, he's beaten up on a bunch of pygmies in the Big Ten West. He was given a handmade program by Alvarez. I said, you're not going to come into the SEC and muscle Alabama and LSU and Florida and all these teams. You're not going to push them around like you are Minnesota and Indiana and Northwestern and all that bunch. I called him Bird because everybody in the Big Ten called him Bird. And Justin said, you can't call him Bird. I said, I can call him anything I want. His mama named him Bert. I'm going to call him Bert. And I just didn't think that the guy was ever going to do anything here. I don't think he's going to do anything at Illinois. I don't think he's the worst coach in the world, but he's certainly not the best coach in the world. I'm with you. You can put a guy like that at a place that's got a lot of advantages, and he would probably have a winning team. He showed that at Wisconsin. But he certainly didn't show it at Arkansas, and he's not really showing it at Illinois right now. So there you have it.
Mr. McCarthy out of there, or Coach McCarthy, and he's had a chance. I don't know, just something I didn't like about him, how he motivated the team. And it showed again this past Sunday. They're much better than they showed. Cowboy, I don't care if you're a Cowboy hater or not. Cowboys are better than they showed this past Sunday, especially their defense. And that's what was kind of killing them. Although the offense didn't do much either, but I think there's a nucleus there for Mr. Belichick to get his coaching record with, and for wins, and maybe win another one or a couple.
Well, hey, Hog Wild, the timing is off on it now because they're bringing back McCarthy and Belichick is still out there. But if he accepts another job, then that's going to throw that off.
Big mistake.
It'd be the same deal with what happened with Sean Payton.
Big mistake. Y'all remember I told you on Buzz Out of Bounds. Big mistake bringing McCarthy back, Jerry. Big mistake.
2 years in a row
all
now.
Right, guys. Keep up the good job. Pigskin, once again, congratulations on Michigan win. Buy all the national champ stuff you can get. You're not guaranteed to make it back.
Thanks, my brother. Appreciate you.
Southern Structural Solutions text line, we have a couple of comments about J.J. McCarthy. So Ethan says, just can't handle Pigskin saying J.J. McCarthy is better than Pickett. You can't compare a college quarterback to a quarterback in the NFL and say he's way better, not apples to apples.
I saw Pickett at Pitt, and McCarthy was better in college than Pickett was at Pitt, okay?
Okay, and then
I can. They're playing the same sport, the same position. I can.
So another says McCarthy won't even be third string in the NFL. He hid behind an impressive defense and a run game on a team that always knew the other team's play before they ran it. It said dude completed 10 passes in the championship game, and Pigskin thinks he's Tom Brady.
Where'd Tom Brady go to school, Einstein? You understand? Do you understand how much better at Michigan J.J. McCarthy was than Tom Brady? See, that he would even bring that up shows what an absolute mental wasteland he's trying to mine there.
So
you're going to use Brady as the example?
So who gets bothered here more? You said you like jabbing at me because of Kenny Pickett, and you know it bothers me. Who gets bothered more, me or you?
Well, that's just a really stupid thing to say. I mean, Brady was a 6th-round draft choice. Does that guy think that McCarthy's going to last till the 6th round? Is that what he thinks?
So here's another. JJ wouldn't beat out any NFL healthy QB1 in the league, and goes on to say that you're a super homer because the defense at Michigan got them a national championship.
You know, this is the thing. You get all of these SEC fanboys, slappies, that are weighing in. They probably didn't watch 3 Michigan games all season. Do you realize going into the Penn State game, which was Week 8, I think Michigan was 8-0 by that point, McCarthy was the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. You remember what happened, though? They had a problem with pass protection at Happy Valley. They couldn't block Penn State's edge rushers, who were really, really good. And McCarthy got hit and he got hurt, okay, which they didn't disclose the injury, but he couldn't run. And they were having trouble blocking. He went to Sharon Moore at halftime. This is what he said. We can run on these guys. We're having trouble keeping them out of the backfield and pass protection. Just go the big package and run. In the second half, they ran 32 straight times. They ran the ball down Penn State's throat. They played keep away, and they won the game. Now, here's the takeaway from this. The kid is so unselfish that he knew that you go the whole second half and don't complete a pass, your Heisman Trophy hopes are gone. He still finished in the top 8, I think it was. He's an unselfish kid. He's a winner. And any of these guys weighing in on this, they're talking about stuff they don't know anything about. So, blather away.
Southern Structural Solutions text line, McCarthy was better at Michigan because they cheated. And there's probably much more of that to come on Out of Bounds. So we'll get back into some of the messages there from Southern Structural Solutions text line. You can get in 501-661-1037. You can call into the show, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America Life and Feedback. More of Out of Bounds coming up after this break. Stay tuned.
.1037 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorback basketball. Coverage is brought to you by Crane Hyundai of Conway, Blackman Auctions, Bell Chevrolet, and Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Arkansas State fell to Southern Miss 69-66. The Red Wolves are 3-3 in conference play. They'll face Texas State on Saturday. In the SEC, LSU pulled an upset over 22nd-ranked Ole Miss, beating them 89-80. They're led by senior guard Jordan Wright, who had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. 8th-ranked Kentucky took care of business, beating Mississippi State 90-77. And 22nd-ranked Auburn also took care of business, beating Vanderbilt 80-65. Tonight in college basketball, Little Rock will take on Southern Indiana at 7:30. Radio coverage for the game can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. TV coverage can be seen on ESPN+. And Central Arkansas will take on Lipscomb at 7. That game can also be seen on ESPN+. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJs spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
I'm Rachel Parker Harding for Parker Cadillac. Get ready to arrive in style on game day in a luxurious certified pre-owned Cadillac. Choose from XT5, XT6, Escalade, or sedan models. Parker Cadillac has the largest inventory of certified pre-owned Cadillacs in Arkansas. Plus, all Parker Cadillac certified pre-owned customers receive 2 years, unlimited miles of complimentary oil changes. For more details, visit parker-cadillac.com.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
Is your Oaklawn Thoroughbred racing action so close you can feel it? Or is it the view from your trackside luxury suite? However you like it, racing season is off and running at Oaklawn with live races every weekend through May 4th. It's fun by the furlong all season long. Make your reservations today at oaklawn.com. What's your Oaklawn? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody. QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I'm super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Tune in every Monday night at 7 during basketball season for the Eric Musselman Show. Coach will break down gameplay and strategy. Brought to you by Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealership. The all-new Genesis of Conway, now open at 1075 Collier Drive.
Hey, it's Brooke here, and at Chris Crane Hyundai, we've got a huge selection of pre-loved vehicles like never before. Late models loaded with new technology? Check. Payments to fit any budget? Check. Silverados, Civics, Broncos, and more. Check, check, check. Thanks that love to say yes? You know it.
Our pre-loved inventory has never been better than now. Come visit your friends at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Fire up the grill this summer with the highest quality of meats from Hogg's Meat Market and their new location off JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. Let's go back to the Southern Structural Solutions text line. Pigskin, question for you. Is J.J. McCarthy better than Stetson Bennett?
I think there's a very similar comparison there. I mean, Bennett obviously won 2 national championships to 1 for McCarthy. I think McCarthy's got a better arm. I think McCarthy's faster. I think Stetson was like McCarthy. He was on very good teams. But, yeah, I would take McCarthy over Bennett.
Okay, so the comment after that is Stetson Bennett was drafted in the 4th round. Now, J.J. McCarthy will be drafted higher, and he may be a third-string or practice squad quarterback right now, and that's what McCarthy is going to be, Pigskin.
Well, that's what that guy thinks. Keep in mind, these are the same people, Joe. When you play Alabama in the Rose Bowl, you're going to see that SEC speed and power, and you're not going to know what to do, and that didn't happen. And then we heard the next week, well, Washington with that passing attack and Michael Penix and those NFL receivers, you're not going to be able to stop that. We held him to 13 points. So this clown saying that he's going to be third string, I mean, pardon me if I don't pay that much attention to him. Because I guarantee he was one of those saying that we were going to get killed by Alabama and Washington, and how did that work out?
Why does he have to be a clown? Why can't he just have his opinion?
Well, I just said, I guarantee you. Joe, you had the same guys calling
I'm just asking.
Nobody's going to watch the game, see? Nobody's going to watch. Okay, and I sent that to you. Did anybody watch the game between Michigan and Washington?
Oh, we knew better than that.
Yeah, it had a higher rating than anything in the last. But, somebody says something, and you're like, okay, well, we're bound to take their opinion. I'm not bound to take anybody's opinion if it doesn't have any validity to it. And it didn't, okay? And I don't think this does. No, I don't think he's going to be a third string guy. Maybe when he starts off, but I think he's going to work his way in, and I think he'll play for somebody. And, if he doesn't, we'll see.
Southern Structural Solutions text line, Michigan should have lost to Maryland, but the refs helped them out, of course. And this person goes on to say they watched 4 or 5 Michigan games this year, and they're able to form an opinion on what they thought Michigan was, but specifically pointed to the Maryland game.
Well, maybe he can write into the NCAA and protest the game, and maybe they'll give us a loss on that. That's a thought. We could do that. Yeah. Alabama should have lost to Auburn on 4th and 31. How did that work out? Really, this is what we're going to do is play, well, they could have lost this. They could have lost that. Well, they didn't. Okay, so there you go.
Didn't know McCarthy played defense to hold Washington to 14 points. LOL.
No, it's 13 points. LOL. So, yeah. Yeah, but these are the same guys that, they can't hang, okay? They can't hang, man. They can't hang with Washington. Well, they hung, okay? So they did. So that's it.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Stan. What's up, Stan?
Yes, freaking Joe. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, doing good. How about you?
All right. All right. Pigskin.
Stan.
Pigskin. I call to congratulate you,
yes,
Michigan. I call to congratulate you on that Michigan championship, brother.
Well, thank you, Stan. That's very nice of you.
I ain't no sore loser, brother. But hey, I got one question for y'all. Hey, freaking Joe, can we keep it real?
Keep it real, like always.
Hey, Stan, can we keep it real? I know you're a true Michigan fan, but can we keep it okay, man? So you always keep it real with me in your heart. I know you want them to win all that. That's your team, but check it out. If they would have played Georgia in that championship game,
come on, Stan. Stan, we can't do that.
Hold up, freaking Joe.
Stan, we can't do that.
I want your opinion. I want both. I know, but I want both of y'all's opinion. Who y'all think would have won? And we'll hang up a list. Y'all keep it real, man.
Stan, it doesn't matter. That's a hypothetical. It didn't happen. Georgia beat them the year before. So the last time they were on the field, Georgia beat them. But that has nothing
2
to do.
years before.
Okay,
not a year before,
yeah. But that has nothing to do with
yeah.
what happened this year.
Well, maybe Georgia should have won their game and we could have found out. But Georgia got beat by the team that we threw around like rag dolls and sacked their quarterback 6 times. So I'd say we would have won. But, we'll never know.
No, we won't. Let's go back to the phones and talk to Navy Mike. What's up, Navy Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? Pigskin, J.J. McCarthy, as far as being better than half the quarterbacks in the league, that guy is John Navarre 2.0. Let's just be honest. And not only that, not only that, he's not even better than Cam Newton right now. Cam ain't played in 2 years.
Okay, so, the John Navarre comment might be the stupidest thing you've ever said, and that covers a lot of ground, Navy Mike, because you've said a lot of stupid things over the years, and that might be the biggest one. This kid's going to be drafted in the first round. Navarre wasn't even drafted. He works at a furniture store in Wisconsin. So, no, that's not the same thing. Just pulling stupid stuff out. I'm not listening to that.
Hey, Johnny Football was drafted in the first round, too. So and so was Tim Tebow. But,
well, then maybe some team, maybe, Mike, that some team will hire you as the general manager, and you'll be able to lead them out of the wilderness. We can hope for that, okay?
Well, speaking of the wilderness,
I would take J.J. McCarthy's future over your present right now. How about that?
Well, it's kind of frustrating for me to see Baker Mayfield, balling out of control. Why couldn't he do that when he was at Carolina? We gave him a shot before they did. I mean, he couldn't get us in the playoffs and win a playoff game. I mean, come on, dude. So I'm rooting.
Well, maybe you should fly down to Tampa and tell him that. And maybe that will turn the career arc around for him. You could. John Navarre. That's bad. That's bad even for you, dude. Okay, that's bad even for you. It really is.
I remember those Michigan years. Chad Henne and all those.
And
guys.
I defend you all the time when Acree is talking about never letting you call the station again. I defend you. And you bring up John Navarre, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You really should.
I'll get you guys telling us on that, whatnot. Y'all take care, man.
Hey, appreciate it, Mike.
John Navarre. You might as well talk about my mother or something. Don't bring up John Navarre. Good grief.
So the Ravens going into the playoffs, well, the first game that they're going to play in the divisional round, they have a couple of key injuries that they're looking into. And Mark Andrews, their tight end, he's looking to get back on the field. And John Harbaugh says that it's still up in the air as far as what he'll be able to do. He has practiced in a limited capacity, but it's still up in the air as to if he'll be able to get back on the field. Hasn't played for a few games. He missed 6 games. And Isaiah Likely in those 6 games, 21 passes, receptions for 322 yards and 5 touchdowns. So it'd be nice to get Mark Andrews back on the field, and then you're talking about 2 of those guys performing at a high level in the same position.
Well, he's got the best name in the league. Likely. What a great name. He's likely a future Hall of Famer, right? Or likely a Pro Bowler. Likely.
Yeah, he's a guy that the Ravens, they do a really good job of identifying certain players, certain positions. Tight end position is one that they are always high on and evaluating and getting it right. And they've done that over and over again. When you have a guy like Mark Andrews, then you still need somebody to maybe give him a break every now and then or get on the field with him. They like to run 2 tight end sets. And so they picked a perfect guy to get on the field with him in Isaiah Likely, and especially in the fact that Mark Andrews hasn't been on the field, the production didn't drop off any.
Well, that was a big injury with Andrews, one of the best tight ends in the league. That they've overcome that tells you how deep and how smart a team they are. I like these guys to win the Super Bowl. I think it would have been easier with Andrews, but I think they're going to overcome that injury and win it anyway.
Speaking of their depth, they released Melvin Gordon, and now they've activated Dalvin Cook to their active roster, who was on the practice squad. He was just picked up within the past 2 weeks. He was on their practice squad. Now they're adding him to their 53-man roster, and they have cut ties with Melvin Gordon. And the last time we saw Melvin Gordon, he fumbled, and that's something that's been an issue for Melvin Gordon over the years, having fumbling issues, and it's led to him being with multiple teams over the past few seasons. And now the Ravens are moving on, and they seem to upgrade it with bringing in Dalvin Cook, who was for the majority of the season with the Jets, and now he's on a roster for a playoff team in the Ravens. Good situation for him.
Cook is a great player. Still got some tread left on those tires.
We have one final segment on Out of Bounds, and we're going to wrap it up, turn it over to Drive Time Sports, but we still have some things hanging out there that we're going to get into. Final segment here on Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned.
Arkansas, the wait is over. Brewski's North is officially open for business in the Lakewood Village Shopping Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. with all of your pub grub favorites and happy hour drink specials. Come get your grub on with the all-new Smash Burger lineup, best wings in the city with 11 different sauces, or try the new additions to the menu like the spicy Asian chicken salad. Live music starts the weekend every Thursday with karaoke every Friday and Saturday. Brewski's North, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Companies are shifting their telephone systems to the cloud, and you should too. ESI eCloud PBX has everything you need. Features like work from anywhere, video calls, and advanced security tools make ESI eCloud PBX one of the best choices for any business. Opt out of the high cost of your traditional phone system and move to the cloud. Sign up for an online demo at nsgdv.com and get your system activated at no charge.
Network Services Group. One call does it all.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Start learning a new language today at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
This is Pat Bradley for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union in their New Year's Auto Loan Special. Listen close, offer ends January 31st. 3.99% interest on 22, 23, and 24 models. No payments for 90 days or up to 84 months financing. Don't delay. The Alcoa Community FCU New Year's Auto Loan Special with rates as low as 3.99% ends January 31st. Get pre-approved online at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
It's trade-in time at Gwatney Chevrolet. Kick off the new year in style and comfort with a 2024 Chevy Equinox. Yours for just $23,999 with a qualifying trade-in. Or the iconic Chevy Silverado. Snag it for under $48,000 with your trade-in. Visit GwatneyChevrolet.com or stop by and see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville to learn more. We'll see you soon. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Make your tailgate the party of the parking lot by getting the best meats in all of Arkansas at Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Too sack. Is that all you get for your money? And it seems such a waste of time. If that's what it's all about, Mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving out. I'm moving out.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Hogs Meat Market studio. Joe Franklin, Top Pierce, Pigskin Preacher, wrapping it up. Final segment here. Something that happened, that was pretty funny, where you see these post-game interviews with players, and they're kind of going through what happened during the game, being asked about what happened during the game. Well, LeBron, we know that LeBron always has a lot of media around him. Recently, after a game, they're trying to interview LeBron, but LeBron was being distracted because he was trying to watch Bronny on TV.
It's good. Pull it. Sorry. You're good. Pass. That's the
How was
shoot it?
How's Bronny looking in that game?
He's doing well.
How's USC looking?
Living better.
They're down.
Any of our bigs?
Out of 80 with the passing the last few games, triple-double in Utah, almost had a triple-double tonight.
Yeah, he's learning from me how to pass out of the place. That's what I'm saying. He's serious. He's working on it, and it's great. Team's going to stop doubling him soon. As long as we make shots out there for him, shoot it. As long as we make shots for him, then teams will stop doubling him. So it's our job to make sure we're in the right position. Shoot. It's our job to make sure we're in the right position at the right time when he gets doubled. We have a numbers game. It's going to be a 4-on-3 on the backside, so we have to put ourselves in position.
It was 16 to. You guys went on a 16-4 run in the third quarter in a tight game. What would you like in that period?
Defensively, we were in tune, and then offensively, we were really intact. Sorry, wide open lane.
So LeBron is trying to do a post-game interview, but he's clearly into watching USC and what Bronny is doing. And it's just kind of funny to hear the back and forth where he's answering questions, but at the same time, the interaction of what he's seeing on TV and commenting on the USC game.
And the analysis of what he's doing, trying to coach Bronny, fits in with the answer he's trying to give about Anthony Davis.
Absolutely. Yeah, funny stuff there. It's been announced that Reba McEntire is going to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Post Malone is going to perform America the Beautiful, and Andra Day will do Lift Every Voice and Sing. Reba said, "I'm honored to be a part of something as big and historic as the Super Bowl coming to Vegas for the first time."
Love, love, love Reba.
What do you think about Reba, Pigskin?
I tried to go to a restaurant in Atoka, Oklahoma a few months ago, but it was closed on a Monday.
Yeah, just bad timing there.
Yeah, I hear the restaurant's outstanding. As far as her music goes, I could take it or leave it, but I hear she's a good cook.
What about her as an actor? She's played in some TV shows. I kind of really liked her on TV.
Haven't watched her in anything. I don't watch any of those.
Her series was good, and then she's also good in Young Sheldon. So yeah, and they're talking about a reboot of her comedic sitcom. So I'm all for it.
Well, how about this?
Absolutely.
Here's an idea, Todd. How many quarterbacks in the NFL would I take Reba McEntire over right now?
How many? You tell us. We don't even have to go through it. How many?
Yeah. Would you take the quarterback with the arm, or would you take Reba with the voice?
Because half of them can't play dead. That's right. Half of them can't play dead.
So
Reba's probably an improvement.
So what are you saying really then about J.J. McCarthy, that he may not be that good in full circle?
Well, he may not, or he may. It's like the old Abe Lemons quote. You scored 2 more points than a dead man. Congratulations. So, I don't know. We'll see.
The Arizona Cardinals are going through some changes as they move their offices from their long-term practice facility, their non-football operations. They're moving from the long-term practice facility to a nearby workspace. But they laid off 3 high-ranking employees, including 2 vice presidents and above. So CFO, Greg Lee, had been with the organization for 18 years, and 15 of those he was the CFO. They laid him off. Mike Iaquinta, who was the vice president of business development, he was there for 15 years. Tim Delaney, VP of digital content, he also was there for 16 years. So 3 high-ranking officials that were laid off. And also, they had their senior VP of corporate partnerships. He resigned after 20 years with the team. So a lot of turnover at the top for the Arizona Cardinals as they continue to try to improve their football team. Christian Pulisic, he's one of the top soccer players in the world. He's been named U.S. Soccer Male Player of the Year for 2023, and that ties Landon Donovan for the most by U.S. men's national team member because he won it for the 4th time. Now, he's 25 years old. He won it in 17, 19, 21, and 23. He's 25. Landon Donovan won it at the age of 28 for the 4th time. So he already is at a better pace than Landon Donovan, where he's tied him for most in history, and he's 3 years younger.
That is crazy to be 25 and having won it for the 4th time. That's insane.
And he received 53% of the vote to get that done. And we know that we have these national days, and recently it was National Arkansas Day. Today, Get to Know Your Customers Day, but also it's National Michigan Day. So if you're from the state of Michigan or there's something you want to celebrate about the state of Michigan, today's National Michigan Day.
How much natty garb you wearing today, Pigskin?
I'm actually wearing a Pinnacle sweater. So I'm wearing church stuff. I'm not wearing any Michigan stuff today.
Birthdays today.
I do have a Little Rock Touchdown Club shirt underneath, so I'm representing Baz and company.
Birthdays today. Jason Segel is 44. Bautista, wrestler, actor, he's 55. Kevin Costner is 69 today. And Ted DiBiase, wrestler, 70 years old. So there's everybody celebrating birthdays. National Michigan Day. So you want to celebrate somebody?
On both ends, you got National Michigan Day and Ted DiBiase's from Omaha. So
there you go.
There you go.
Well, that's it for Out of Bounds today. We appreciate you, Todd, always. We'll see you soon. Coming back here, spend some time on Out of Bounds. Pigskin, always good. We appreciate you. And
Joe, you broke up the monotony of a snow day. I appreciate that, my brother.
Oh, absolutely. And we had some fun here, as we like to. Every day we do Out of Bounds. We're going to turn it over to Drive Time Sports coming up next. So everybody, be safe out there. If you don't have to get out, don't. But be safe and stay tuned. Listen up for Drive Time Sports coming up next.